The weekend comes from Tynecastle. It is Hearts against St Johnstone. It's full live commentary here on Sportsend and BBC Radio Scotland with Alan Preston, Michael Stewart and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Richard. Good afternoon, everybody. Tynecastle not quite full, but I tell you what, it's getting that way. And after the disappointment of midweek, can Hearts bounce back in domestic action? As the boys have been saying, great deal of changes in this Hearts side. In fact, 7 of the 11 who started against Celtic last week start today. And given the fact that Hearts got to change a goalkeeper since then, so 7 of the 10 outfield players who featured at Celtic Park start today. St Johnstone with just the one change, with Stevie May coming in for Theo Blair. We're underway. Hearts in the maroon jerseys coming from right to left. St Johnstone kicked off in the traditional blue jerseys. They're in white shorts and white socks. Hearts in white shorts, but the maroon socks. Boyce holding up on the edge of the centre circle. The referee gives it a beat before he sees if there was a free kick involved. Ryan McGowan pinged for that, so Hearts will have a free kick centre circle. Taken by Peter Haring onto Devlin and back onto Rolls. Rolls inside onto Lewis Nielsen. Maybe his first full start for Hearts, maybe his first full start for Dundee United against St Johnstone. Ball gets played back inside the Hearts half. Rolls is there, just sends the ball back to the man in grey. It's Craig Gordon, the goalkeeper. Then he calls on Lewis Nielsen to come and get it. Nielsen almost runs into trouble, plays it forward onto Haring. Stepped away well from Carey, and the ball is out with Smith over the halfway line. Phillips picks up, Haring in there quickly on the halfway line. Plays the ball back onto Michael Smith. Smith tries to play the ball back just outside the edge of the 6-yard box on the right hand side to Craig Gordon, back onto Michael Smith. Smith being closed down quickly by Jamie Murphy. Murphy then got dragged back by Smith. Smith wraps round him, has to knock the ball out of play on that far side. It's going to be a throw into St Johnstone. James Brown will come and take once he gets a ball from somewhere. It's thrown back in from somebody in the crowd, and he'll leave the throw for Andrew Considine, playing on the left of the 3 and now up to try and create something from the long throw. Melker Hallberg, where's 22, edge of the 6-yard box, was calling for it. It's Considine, waits, steps forward, long throw in. Hearts looking for it. Nielsen wins the header up to the edge of the area. Boyce gets it down, edge of the box it comes onto Gary Mackay-Stephen. He'll lay the ball back onto Andy Halliday. Halliday up to the halfway line looking for Mackay-Stephen, but it was well won by Ryan McGowan. Phillips has it coming down this right hand side, played back by Dre Wright into Alex Mitchell. Mitchell sends it across and gets it back once more from Considine. Drops short onto Daniel Phillips, made his debut last week. Chips the ball forward, taken down by Rose, but he can't find Halliday. He's up against Dre Wright. Wright does well, gets away from him, tries to swing the ball in. Craig Gordon just watching on that one, and it drifts all the way behind on that occasion. Michael Stewart, the man to my right hand side. Good early pressure from St Johnstone, starting to press Hearts as much as they can.
Yeah, well, I think it's important for St Johnstone that they do try to start the game brightly. You know, they'll be trying to exploit the fact that Hearts have come off the back of the game on Thursday, looking to see if there's any jadedness or whether they're going to start brightly themselves. So yes, I'm pretty sure that Carl Davison will be hammering home that point. I'm interested to see Hearts and the way that they set up. We've got Michael Smith playing right-sided centre half, and you know, I was talking before the game about that's an area of the park that I think Hearts do need to strengthen. But is Michael Smith going to be able to play there comfortably as a regular in there, or are they going to play the back 4 and obviously Michael Smith or Atkinson could play right back without too many problems? But certainly it'll be interesting to see how Michael Smith does at that right side of the centre back of the back 3 here today.
It's a fair vote of confidence, Michael, on Nielsen as well, the young kid playing the middle of the 3. I thought Smith might have went and played the middle one and Nielsen playing on the right, but you know, he's given him a lot of responsibility. He's the one that they want to step out from the back 3 if they can.
Boyce tries to play the ball through, repelled by Mitchell. Over the halfway line it goes on to Lewis Nielsen. Jumps the ball down onto Cammy Devlin, who's outstanding against FC Zurich. Wide onto Smith. Smith plays it forward. Giannelli trying to get ahead of Mitchell. He's by the corner flag, tries to knock the ball past him, but Mitchell is too strong. Wins the ball, plays it forward, and now the angle ball looking for Stevie May. Craig Gordon races well out of his area, hooks the ball into the centre circle inside the St Johnstone half, takes a bounce past Phillips and comes through onto Boyce. Boyce rides the challenge, tries to get away from Dre Wright as well, just trying to do too much inside. It goes to Phillips, and now Hallberg, but he can't link up with Brown on that far side, and Atkinson got it back for Hearts. Hearts with Gordon and goal. The back three of Smith, Nielsen and Rolls, Atkinson, Devlin, Harding and Halliday across the midfield. Gary Mackay-Stephen and Josh Ginnelly underside of Liam Boyce. Now the long ball on the angle looking for Andy Halliday. It's up to the edge of the area and it's turned away well by Dre Wright. Not too happy for some of the defensive play there, Dre Wright, but the throw is taken quickly. Gary Mackay-Stephen outside the box, left-hand side, on to Andy Halliday. Halliday gets the cross in. Boyce tried to get up there. One or two shouts that he was being pulled. Didn't look like it. Breaks the edge of the box. Harding with a shot. Blocked by Mitchell. Spins off him. And dropping onto it is Remy Matthews. Very grateful to be on top of it. Alan Preston.
No, just that was a fair challenge at the back post on Boyce. Nothing in it. Two grown men trying to win the ball. Never a penalty.
You say that, and not that I disagree, but when you... I mean, I'm not being funny, but that is the classic example of what we were talking about last week, where there will be contact between players because they're challenging for the ball. But if you're claiming that when somebody touches their opponent, it's a penalty kick.
Oh, Craig Gordon with the error. Here's a chance for St Johnstone, and it's the opening goal. What a mistake from Craig Gordon. He just hammered the ball out, and it was picked up and knocked into the net by St Johnstone. And St Johnstone get the ball in with Graham Carey. It came to him, and he simply, from the edge of the box, Alan Preston, just knocked it past into an empty net.
Yeah, it was back to Craig Gordon's weaker right foot, and he doesn't hit it well enough. He's well out his goal by then, but it's wonderful execution by Carey. It's first time. It's the outside of his left foot, and he just bends it back into the empty net. Wonderful start from St Johnstone.
6 minutes gone. Graham Carey with a lovely angle ball past Craig Gordon, who realised the second he hit it that he was in trouble, to the edge of the box. And it was simply finished by Graham Carey. Hearts 0, St Johnstone 1.
Well, it's exactly what Callum Davison would have been looking for, and it just adds that little bit more pressure onto Hearts to show that they're going to be able to react well from Thursday night. It's a hugely disappointing error from Craig Gordon, but wonderful finish from Carey. And you know that he has that, he's got a wonderful left foot, great technique, and puts St Johnstone in a good position.
Hearts now come down the other end, the header away by Considine. Oh, Graham Carey scored in the League Cup against there, but nets there. And he's been a fairly regular goal scorer throughout his career. 200 appearances for Plymouth, 49 goals. So he's got a fairly decent strike record, and Hearts are behind at home as they run the ball out of play on that far side. I think, Alan, actually, there was a couple of St Johnstone players there that could have got on the end of that.
Yeah, but when you look at it, it's wonderful technique. Normally you should say go with your right foot, but he actually bends it with the outside of his left foot into the back of the net. Not an easy skill to do, and an uncharacteristic mistake by Craig Gordon. I think you let him off it with the amount of saves he's made over the years for Hearts and Celtic in Scotland.
So Remy Matthews plays the ball away over the halfway line. It goes, and it comes off the head of Jamie Murphy. And out of play on that far side. So it's Remy Matthews in goal. It's McGowan, Mitchell and Considine, the back three. Dre Wright, Malcolm Hallberg, Daniel Phillips and James Brown. And that front three, Graham Carey, Stevie May and Jamie Murphy. St Johnstone have the lead at Tynecastle. They've caused Hearts all sorts of problems over the last couple of seasons. More at home than at here. When the ball comes in, the flag is up just on that right-hand side as Hallberg tries to get in. The referee has ignored it. The flag has come down again. The ball is pulled back to Daniel Phillips. Shot! Craig Gordon was wrong-footed, and he had to go back. He was pushing to the left-hand side, had to turn back on the right-hand side to make the save.
I don't get what the assistant on this side is doing. He's put his flag up, must have been for offside, and then he quickly puts it straight back down. Good save. I think a slight deflection and a good save by Craig Gordon in the end.
Hearts now play the ball forward up to Josh Ginnelly, left-hand side. Ginnelly outside the box, looks for some help. Trying to face up against Mitchell, drags the ball onto the right foot, then gets it back, comes inside. Mitchell had a little nibble at him, the ball comes through. Cammy Devlin goes down, he gets right back up. It was never a penalty, he wasn't looking for it. Here's Andy Halliday up at the edge of the area, chips the ball in. Boyce pushes his man, and the referee gives it. If I can see it from here, the referee's going to spot that. It was a clear push.
Let's see, I think the St Johnstone players are now having a go at Devlin, who goes down in the box, but he gets straight back up. And they're not happy. They think he's dived.
I'm not sure. I mean, look, there was plenty of bodies coming together. I mean, Josh Ginnelly, his own teammate, was running in that area as well. The fact that he went down, I don't see a big issue with it, because he bounced right back up, and there was contact between the players. I'm not convinced. I mean, maybe if I see a replay, I can start to feel a bit of sympathy towards the St Johnstone player. Well, I can't feel sympathy because they didn't get a penalty against them anyway. But the St Johnstone players, I don't think there's any need for them to get upset about that. But the one thing I would mention about down this left-hand side, that's 2 really good balls into the box that Andy Halliday's put in so far. Worked into an area, the ball's come back to him, and he's whipped in balls into a dangerous area where Remy Matthews can't really come and collect. So if Hearts can get on the end of it, there's definitely scope for some danger down there.
Boyce away from Phillips, long angle ball up the edge area. Ginnelly being shown on the outside onto his left foot, gets the shot away. It's wide, there was no deflection, cracked it past the left hand post, but from a Hearts point of view, Alan Preston, that was quite lively.
Yeah, it was a good ball, early played by Boyce, and it's one-on-one with McGowan and Ginnelly, and you can see Ginnelly's trying to get it back onto his right foot, but good defended by McGowan, showing him down the line, and then has to have the shot on the left foot just over the top of the bar, but better from Hearts. That's where Boyce is great, you know, when he gets that. That's why I think they need a runner up front, so he can drop into the areas there and then pick passes as he's just done there with Ginnelly.
Well, the sole arbiter of the game is referee John Beaton. He'll be joined later in the season by VAR. They would have certainly looked at potentially the penalty claim for Hearts and potentially the dive that St Johnstone felt as the ball gets played forward out on this far side. Little ball in, oh, chance. Stevie May just didn't slide in. Jamie Murphy got the ball in from the right hand side. May didn't gamble. Hearts get the ball away out from the other side of the area. Devlin will pick up, tries to accelerate, sliding challenge, gets away from Considine, up at the edge of the area, played it into the box first time. Remy Matthews still chasing there, and Matthews boots the ball out of play rather than risk diving at the feet of Josh Ginnelly. Hearts of the throw. Gary Mackay-Stephen takes it into Ginnelly, and Ginnelly passes it away into the area, picked up by Hallberg. Hallberg long on the angle, simple header by Smith. They couldn't link up on that far side.
Well, Hearts have reacted well. They've brought a bit of energy to the plate in behind Boyce. I think he's on.
Boyce goes through, can't get a touch on the ball though. Remy Matthews holds his hand up, just say to the assistant, where was the flag? But the ball, just a simple long ball from the back. That's what Boyce is good at, Alan Preston, those runs to try and get in behind.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball as well from Halliday. Really just drops into an area. Boyce is unlucky not to get it under control, or he was through it with the keeper. But it has been a really good reaction from Hearts. But St Johnstone, you can see once again down in the wider area, the ball across the box from Murphy, May just couldn't get there.
Nearly 12 minutes gone at Tynecastle. There's a little ball over the top. Here's a chance. There was a push there. The referee has a little look. Well, Murphy gets himself back up. The shouts, one or two for a penalty there as well, just from 1 or 2. Now here comes Gary Mackay-Stephen, steps away from Hallberg, plays the ball round the corner. Ginnelly inside the area. Good tracking back, Alex Mitchell. Ball goes out of play. What a game.
10. Do you know, that could easily have been a penalty. I mean, I need to see a replay definitively, but there's no doubt that Lewis Nielsen got caught. Jamie Murphy got in behind him, and, well, you've got to say to yourself, he's gone down. Does the referee think he's dived? I think there was contact.
Yeah, I think so, Mike. I think Hearts have dodged one there.
Gary Mackay-Stephen sends the ball into Milka Rose, heads it back across, hooked away by Mitchell. Outside the area it comes. Well, we would have 3 VAR penalty checks potentially so far, and I think St Johnstone certainly had a good claim. Didn't come their way though, and Devlin plays the ball back to
frenetic. Gordon. It really is. It's lively. And Hearts, to a certain extent, they've got to keep the tempo high, but they just need to sort of calm things down a little bit as well. It's a little bit too open and loose. They need to keep the tempo in the game, but try and get a bit of control to it as well.
So St Johnstone leading at Tynecastle by 1-0 earlier on today. Dundee United 0, Celtic 9. It's not quite teleprinter stuff where you've got to put it in words, but it's pretty close. As the ball comes out on this near side. Every game of the Scottish Premiership this season has got a goal in it.
Well, the only good thing, Paul, with that 9-0 up at Tynecastle is anything, because we'll get ridiculed tomorrow on our game's rubbish, but then Liverpool go and do it to Bournemouth, so touche. Yep.
Long ball on the angle. It's for Andy Halliday, edge of the box, left-hand side. Shows too much of that to Dre Wright. Dre Wright will pick up, push the ball through, looking for Stevie May. Picked up by Rolls. Rolls inside onto Ginnelly, edge of the area. goes down. It was clumsy from Phillips. It wasn't a particularly bad tackle. It was simply clumsy. The ball batters off John Beaton, but it's a free kick to Hearts. St Johnstone players are quickly around. Graham Carey complaining about the penalty. I'm sure not given at the other end. John Beaton very calmly gets the spray out from his pocket. He's giving him a sympathetic hearing before asking him to vacate.
John Beaton's spot on there. I mean, you couldn't. I mean, I think I was surprised with Daniel Phillips goes to the ground and it looked as if he was remonstrating at the fact that he'd been given a free kick against him, and Jamie Murphy there's got a yellow card for, which I'm sure is just purely down to protesting for what he feels was a definite penalty on him.
That was such an obvious free kick, Alan. The referee the other night would have given that one.
But one thing Hearts are lacking is Barry Mackay or Kingsley over the ball here. Two normally would be over it. Haring quite looks as if he fancies it on his right foot. It's set up for the right foot.
11 goals and 105 appearances for Peter Haring. Gary Mackay-Stevens standing over it as well. Cammy Devlin is the Hearts player in the wall. Boyce is by the penalty spot. So about 21 yards out. Mackay-Stevens, the referee is right on his shoulder. Haring stands. Atkinson runs across. Haring is going to go for goal. It thumps off the wall. Melker Hallberg is down, comes back to Hearts, and it's knocked over the top, and it is going to be a goal kick. It was Andy Halliday that got it away. Well, it wasn't quite Murdo McLeod, Brazil, but I can tell you what, Melker Hallberg is certainly down, and on come the physios to check on him.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Physios are on quick. Not great getting the ball right in the face. I think is it Ryan McGowan that's over there as well, looking over at the bench just in case.
Yeah, it certainly appeared to be a sole. I think Brian McLaughlin pitch side, you've had a sight of that again. I mean, the free kick was hit with pace, and to be fair to Melker Hallberg, he didn't flinch.
Yeah, he's down. Hopefully he's not out though, so obviously he's receiving treatment just now. But I've had a look at both penalty claims. Cammy Devlin, it looked as if he just stumbled. Was there contact? I would say no. There was no, and I think John Beaton got that one spot on. As for the other one, the ball just bounced over Lewis Nielsen. Jamie Murphy nipped in. He certainly got contact to the ball, pushed it to the side of Craig Gordon. Lewis Nielsen came back. It was like his shoulder caught him. His arm was across him as well. But interestingly enough, Jamie Murphy wasn't claiming for a penalty, and I think it was just a fact that, you know, Jamie Murphy was just, you know, he wasn't strong enough to deal with Lewis Nielsen's challenge. So again, I think John Beaton's got them both spot on.
If he wasn't claiming for a penalty, what do you think he got booked for when he was talking to the referee?
He was claiming, Brian.
Well, he didn't. He certainly
didn't.
He didn't claim initially.
No, but he's had 2 goes because he's come down and Hearts have won a corner. He's had a go at the referee as the corner's about to come in, and then with that free kick, he's over at the referee again. That's why he's been yellow carded. He's had 2 goes at the referee about it.
When the challenge happened, he just got up and walked back. There was no remonstrating at all.
Well, perhaps Jamie Murphy's got his own VAR in his mind, and he went over it again and thought, nope, should have been. And disagrees with John Beaton. The referee, Clancy Melker Hallberg, is sitting up at the moment. The players have had a water break on that far side. We talk about, you know, Hearts trying to bounce back from Europe, Alan. You know, 1 or 2 of these players are trying to get into more the European team rather than the SPFL team at the moment.
Yeah, it's a chance for some of them to get game time under their belt, which they need. You know, because Hearts are going to have to use their whole squad. So some of them, like Nielsen, who's starting today, hopefully he gets through the full 90 minutes. Janelli needs game time. Andy Halliday is the same. Mackay-Stevens is the same. Atkinson sort of been in and out. So this will help them. It'll certainly bring them on. But then you look at St Johnstone, they've had a whole week to prepare for this game. You know, Hearts have had a tiring game. Some of these players, 5 of them have played. Some of them came on. They've had a tiring night on Thursday night. St Johnstone have had a week to prepare, and I think St Johnstone are looking quite sharp. I really do. And going back to the Murphy incident, I just think Nielsen didn't know he was there, and then got a fright when he realised he was on his shoulder.
Well, Melker Hallberg is sitting up unaided at the moment, but there's still 2 of the St Johnstone physio staff with him. They'll take as long as they have to. Well, there is going to be a change though, so we can go live to the other side of the stadium. Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, I don't think Callum Davidson's willing to take any chances at all with a player who's down, but Ali Crawford has been given the call. He's down here just now, just receiving final instructions. But yeah, it looks like Melker Hallberg's day is over after just 18 minutes. Hopefully he's going to be okay.
Thanks, Brian. He's got to his feet. He has a little look, gets a little pat on the back from the goal scorer Graham Carey. And he's being led off the field of play. he's a loss, Alan Preston, because he does play a particular role in that midfield.
I think he's done very well since he arrived from Hibernian, and it was January he came. And he's done well for St Johnstone, but certainly he probably doesn't know where he is at the moment. You can see the physio remonstrating over to Callum that he needs to make a change. He's totally out of it. The ball hit a bit of pace on it right in his face. Hopefully he's okay. But is that the concussion rule now? He won't be able to play next week, is that right?
Well, they'll have to do tests on him, and if he is checked for concussion, then the protocols do come into play. He will leave the field of play. Stevie May gets the captain's armband. Ali Crawford gets ready to come on the field of play. So St Johnstone leading by 1-0, but they have been forced into the first change of the match, and Ali Crawford comes off the bench for the third time this season and just settles into that midfield. Just wondering if they might shuffle things around a little bit. We'll check, see where Graham Carey goes. Crawford might play slightly further forward. We'll keep an eye on that as Remy Matthews gets us underway once more. Ball down that left-hand side. So it's Smith. Smith tries to get the ball away from May. Plays it down looking for Boyce. Boyce can't get in there. Phillips picks up, lays it back to Considine. Considine sends it forward. May unhappy with where that was played. Now it comes back to the halfway line. Phillips does well to rob Boyce and then try to get it from Atkinson, but Devlin's in there. Very quickly plays the ball backwards onto Nielsen. Nielsen gets it inside onto Rolls. Rolls has a little look, clips it out wide onto Michael Smith, takes it down on his chest, all the way back onto Craig Gordon, the Hearts goalkeeper, with the error. After half a dozen minutes to present the ball to Graham Carey, and Craig scoring. Now it's played back onto Smith. Smith, forward it goes, onto Atkinson, back inside the Hearts half is Michael Smith. St Johnstone just sitting back at the moment. Does look like Graham Carey's moved into the midfield. Now Crawford's coming through the middle. He's going to try and chase down Nielsen. Nielsen plays the ball away onto Boyce. Boyce tries to roll away from Phillips, can't do so, and Considine sends it forward. Jamie Murphy is offside. All the way through, the ball goes to the goalkeeper, so the referee just ignores it, and it is with Craig Gordon. Craig Gordon having a look, thinks about dropping it down onto Lewis Nielsen, and does so out onto this near side. Bogues is there, pushes the ball up to the halfway line, onto Gary Mackay-Stephen, back to Halliday. Halliday forward, but read easily on that occasion. Roy Mitchell plays the ball away. Now it comes down onto Carey. Carey clips the ball out wide from right to left. Brown takes it down, chips it over his own head, but he can't chase after it because he'd slipped down. A little stoppage in play, it's almost taking the impetus out of things for a moment or two.
Yeah, absolutely. It inevitably will do that. Just important that Hearts do try to, as we spoke about before, just inject a little bit of pace and intensity into the game, because they don't want the game just to drift, and then it, becomes more and more difficult to fight your way back into St Johnstone, have something to cling on to. They want to try to get the game back 1-1 as quickly as possible and start to build from there.
So St Johnstone lead after 6 minutes. Graham Carey's first league goal for St Johnstone as Boyce tries to flick the ball onto that far side. Brown reads it, sends it down the middle for Hearts. Hasn't been a goalless draw at Tynecastle between these two since May of 2000. Damien Robertson with the goalkeepers. Took only 6 minutes to get the breakthrough today, and St Johnstone have it. Ball gets played inside. Hearts just knocking it around the back three at the moment. Now Nielsen plays it long on the angle, looking for Gary Mackay-Stephen, brings it under control, steps away and then plays the ball into the box. He got away from McGowan, but good covering round the corner from Dre Wright. That's excellent play. Now Graham Carey has it, keeps the ball in right on the touchline, tries to drag it back, tries to nutmeg Gary Mackay-Stephen, and knocks it off the Hearts player, throwing St Johnstone.
That's a lovely ball by Nielsen, and he does a hard thing, Mackay-Stephen. He brings it down lovely, and then it's a pass, not enough on it. And good play by Dre Wright, backtracking. But there's a little bit of suitor about him, Nielsen, just the way that he comes out and his long passing.
Well, he was at Dundee United when Robbie Nielsen was there, so Robbie Nielsen watched his development and decided to bring him to Tynecastle. Looks like a good recruit as Carey plays the ball high in the air, breaks down towards Haring, gets away from Crawford, headed forward for Ginnelly. Mitchell going in, tried to push him, as if a player called Mitchell would do such a thing, as the ball gets played forward and knocked out of play. It's blocked. Gary Mackay-Stephen. Hearts wanted a free kick there, Michael, but again just looked like a contest.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, John Beaton got that one spot on. The two players are just tussling with each other. You see it happening all the time, and I think the referee was quite right just to let the game play on. But I think this is, it shows you where Hearts do need to strengthen that top end of the park. I mean, Josh Ginnelly's in there, but he's not a centre forward. He offers pace. He looked to try and stretch the game, but it's not a natural role for him, and it's certainly somewhere I think Hearts do need to try to strengthen.
Boyce plays the ball forward. Ginnelly leaned on by Mitchell. Ginnelly goes down, looking at the referee. John Beaton is having nothing of it. Alex Mitchell is complaining about Josh Ginnelly going down so easily under contact. Thoughts of Alan Preston?
Yeah, it could have been a foul. He's very heavy with him.
Mistake there by St Johnstone. Haring picks it up to Boyce. Boyce, a little step over, round the corner it comes. Chance for Boyce. Got it back from Gary Mackay-Stephen. Got the shot away. Blocked off the chest of Remy Matthews. Goes behind for a corner kick. The boost for the referee. The cheers for Hearts. It remains Hearts 0, St Johnstone 1. Michael Stewart.
It's good attack and play from Hearts. Again, it's very incisive. I thought the ball into Liam Boyce wasn't a great one because it was actually behind him, but he did well to step over it, and GMS got it back into his path.
Corner and header, goal Hearts! Hearts are level. Kyle Rose is the goal scorer. He is down on the ground at the moment. He's lying in a heap on the goal line, but he met the ball easily, smashed it with a head past the goalkeeper. Hearts 1, St Johnstone 1.
That's a brilliant head, a great ball in, it's got to be said. Wonderful corner. And Rose comes running in and he heads it from about 5 yards out, middle of the goal. Keeper's got absolutely no chance. He's on his line and he bullets it by him. Hearts are right back in the game. 25 minutes gone.
I don't know what's happened to him. It just looked as if it was a straightforward header, but whether he's been winded or been clattered, I'd be surprised if it was a head knock. But very important that Hearts did get themselves back level. I was saying it earlier on there a few minutes ago that get themselves back 1-1, they can start to build from there. And on the whole, I've got to say that I think the reaction has been pretty good. There was a large stoppage in the game when Melker Hallberg was going off injured, and that could easily have just sort of taken everything out of it, but they've reacted quickly. There've been quite a lot of nice, energetic, fast attacks that Hearts have had, and it's important that they get themselves back on the parity here, and just allows them to start to settle, forget about the mistake and build for here.
Ever present this season for Hearts. Kyrolls gets his first goal for Hearts. He will go off momentarily, but he's walking off and now jogging off under his own steam. I think he fell awkwardly. He just stayed right on the goal line.
Good player.
Yeah.
Good player.
He's been a very good signing, Michael.
Yeah.
Left-footed, athletic, aggressive, good in the air, as we've just seen. It was quick.
He's everything that you would want from a centre half. That he's got a great defensive instinct. Seldom does he get caught out of position. And as Alan said there, he's aggressive in 1v1s. And although I wouldn't say he's Beckenbauer-esque on the ball, he keeps the ball simple. He knows how to play.
The boozer for St Johnstone playing the ball down the left-hand side, so Rose can't get back on. Picked up by Crawford, looks a little ball inside. Here's Graham Carey, scored once already, goes down on the edge of the area under Peter Haring, and Hearts will break through. Gary Mackay-Stephen opens up the foot, chasing ball. It's Josh Giannelli, tries to keep it in, couldn't do so. Ball runs out of play.
It's not a difficult pass from Mackay-Stephen, just feed it into an area. He apologises to Giannelli. It's an easy pass.
Yeah, made the easy pass look difficult on that occasion. And as the ball gets played up to the halfway line, St Johnstone and Hearts, one apiece. St Johnstone, the visitors here in Edinburgh. Crawford plays the ball out wide onto James Brown, now an international player with Malta, and it comes on to Jamie Murphy. Murphy has a little look, tries to drop the shoulder, get past Boyce, but decides to play it back to Phillips. Phillips on to Carey. Carey with that opening goal. Considine plays the ball out wide. Opportunity for Crawford. Where's 21, but Hearts have got two players there, but there's a step on the foot by Boyce on Brown. That's going to be a free kick, and that'll be a chance for St Johnstone to get the ball in. St Johnstone will be happy enough with the way they've played. The defending for the goal from the corner.
I'd want to see it again, but to me it just looks like a really good ball, and Kyle Rose has been aggressive in attacking it. But it's been a good, almost half an hour here, and St Johnstone certainly have had moments where the Callum Davidson will be, fairly happy.
Carey plays the bouncing ball in. May with a shot Well, he opened up his right foot, got the ball with the shot, just trying to take the power off the cross and deflect it into the corner. It goes wide. It will be a goal kick. But I'll tell you what, he got away from the defenders there.
It's a really good ball in. I'd like to see that again, because the assistant keeps his flag down. The Hearts players have got their arms up. They think he's offside. That's a great ball in from Carey. A lot of pace on it.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with giving away. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't 100% convinced it was a free kick, but you've got to be careful giving away fouls and set pieces to St Johnstone, because Carey's delivery it's wonderful. It really is. He's got a great left foot. He can put the ball into some real dangerous areas with lots of pace.
Boyce wins it, gets it down to Ginnelly. Ginnelly, though, loses out too easily from the Hearts' perspective. St Johnstone clear, but Halliday gets the header forward again. Alex Mitchell heads it away. Herring swings at the ball. It breaks inside his own half onto Smith. Atkinson is there. Atkinson now trying to get away from Crawford. Runs across the centre circle. Drags the ball back onto the Hearts goal scorer, Kai Rolls, 24-year-old from Keamer in New South Wales. And he has certainly started life at Tynecastle pretty well. He's on the ball now. When Alex Cochrane were the previous ever presence. Alex Cochrane not involved today. And now the ball gets played forward on that far side. Boyce tries to get there. Considine wins the header out wide onto James Brown. Hooks it high in the air. Mayer looking for the chase. Nielsen, though, gets ahead of him. Plays the ball on to Smith. Smith knocks it forward onto Devlin. Away from Phillips. Herring has it. Plays the ball out wide on for Josh Ginnelly. Now picking up on the right-hand side. Ginnelly is onside. Outside the box. Up against Considine. Into the middle. Boys! Brilliant goal from Hearts. One end to the other. The cross from Ginnelly was sumptuous, and Boyce simply couldn't miss. Hearts have come from behind to lead. Hearts 2, St Johnstone 1.
That's a great goal. It really is. And as you said there, Paul, it's from one end to the other. Quick, incisive play. And it's not the first time it's happened in the game so far, but very important to see Liam Boyce getting on the score sheet after Thursday night. And a great play, really, from the get-go. Lewis Nielsen showed good strength to win the ball. Michael Smith flicked it on, and then Cammy Devlin winning the ball in the middle of the park. Peter Herring continuing the attack. Josh Ginnelly getting down that inside right channel with a wonderful ball played across the face of the goal. And yeah, I was about to say Liam Boyce couldn't miss. Well, he certainly didn't miss. And it was important. It really is important just to allow his confidence to come back a little bit in front of goal. He's a great finisher, but when you miss the chances he missed the other night, that will play in his mind a little bit.
And what to do? Is Tom doing sports scene tonight, Michael? Is he? Is he?
I don't know.
Well, he's got to have a look at Boyce's movement in the box there. It is magnificent. As Ginnelly goes to play the cross, and he goes to go to the front post, checks out and goes back behind the defender and nods it into the middle of the goals. What a run from Boyce, but brilliant play from Hearts all round. Really good ball in by Ginnelly. And the hardest thing, the easiest thing of the whole thing was Boyce knocking it in the net. His movement was magnificent.
First goal since he scored against Dundee United back in April. His 35th Hearts goal altogether. Hearts have come from behind to lead at Tynecastle. It has been some afternoon.
It's been breathless. It really has. And, you know, inevitably, off the back of Thursday night, which is a new experience for this side, a lot of changes, but you would think that, well, as I said, it's a valid sort of question to be raised. Are they going to have the intensity in their game? They certainly have.
And they're in again. Boyce thinks that got a last touch off the St Johnstone player. It's agreed. It's a long ball into the area. Considine, it brushed off him. He couldn't cut it out. And Boyce knew he wasn't going to get there, but claims to the corner. He has the corner.
I think the good thing as well is the fans have been with them. They go 1-0 down, but the fans are with them, really behind them. And this performance with all these changes, it's been a great round of applause by the fans. They've been great, Hearts, they really have.
Gary Mackay-Stephen with a corner from the right-hand side. Swings it in. Stevie May, of all people, with a header away. Out to Devlin. Breaks down Halliday. Well, I gave him the big build-up. He didn't deserve it. Hoofs the ball into the stand. Didn't get the connection he was just looking for.
He was just trying to cut across it because the angle he was coming at was he was hitting it away for goal.
Concern here for Hearts. It's Kai Rolls that's down at the moment. So he fell awkward. I reckon he fell awkwardly on the right-hand side when he went down for the goal, so Hearts are going to check him. Tonight it's not Tomo on Sports Scene. Kenny Miller will do the talking through the centre forward play.
Hopefully they highlight it, because it was great movement from him, it really was.
Somebody that knows what they're talking about then.
Tomo will be driving down from Paradise.
Aye, taking a detour via Edinburgh at the moment. So He's down, both the players on the water breaks. I guess St Johnstone, Alan, a little bit frustrated. Callum Davison, they've played well, they've not done a lot wrong, but they've been undone. I mean, certainly the second goal was as good a goal as you'll see this weekend.
Yeah, a great goal, the second one. The first one, I think, could be preventable if whoever's marking Rose is a bit more aggressive and marks his man properly. You know, it'd be fascinating to see could the keeper come for it, but being so close, 4 or 5 yards out when he heads it home. But we'll wonder what Hearts are going to do here now. It's like Barry Mackay's coming on. So will that mean Haring go back to play centre half?
Yeah, it's really the only option. I mean, in terms of Hearts, they've got 2 young defenders on the bench, Aaron Darge and Aidan Denham, but to be fair, they've already got a 20-year-old at the heart of the defence. I don't want to make it any younger. So Carroll goes off. Hearts will take no chances. Barry Mackay comes on with his usual hop, skip and a jump.
They go to a back 4.
Halliday going to play as a left centre half?
I think he is. I just wondered whether they'd go to a back 4. But no, it looks as if it's still the back 3 with Halliday as left centre half. Mackay Stevens going to left wing back.
That's an interesting change from Hearts. They lead with nearly 35 minutes gone.
Well, the thing is that, you know, the squad has certainly been stretched here today, but good for Hearts that they've got their noses in front now.
Josh Ginnelly has the ball outside the box, left-hand side. He's up against Dre Wright. Thinks about pulling it back, does so. On to Barry Mackay, low shot in, blocked by Phillips and Mitchell. Comes out back again. Oh, bad header by Carey. Into the area it goes. Ginnelly with a shot! Rattled off the frame and it's away. Goalkeeper, I think, may have got a touch.
I think he saves that.
That's
what
a terrific save.
Brilliant save by the keeper if he has. I think he has. He's got a right hand to it. What a hit from Ginnelly.
Ball gets played forward now on the angle again, up towards Boyce. Remy Matthews lost 3-1 in his only appearance at Tynecastle previously. That for Hamilton, and that prevented it going 3-1 already in this game. Here's Nielsen, steps away from Crawford, then gives the ball away. Haring sliding in, then Carey coming across.
The pace of the game is incredible. I mean, there hasn't really been any let-up. And, you know, credit to St Johnstone. They're keeping it going here. They're not sitting off and licking their wounds here. They're trying to get right back at it as well. But Hearts they really have been good. And when you couple it with the disappointment of Thursday, it's good to see this reaction from them. Last week against Celtic, a lot of changes in the performance there was a positive one. Disappointing they obviously lost the game, but it was a positive performance. And this will really please Robbie Nielsen that the changes have been made. The goal 1-0 down. There's plenty of excuses there that could have been had for a poor performance and not getting themselves back into the game, but there's been none of that. They've just got on with it and they're 2-1 up now.
Of course, Hearts without Toby Sibbick on the bench today, sent off last week against Celtic. So too Alex Cochrane sent off, so they're missing out today. So Hearts only name 8 on the bench, including the 2 youngsters. Now Long on the angle, Nielsen low, can't get it past Dre Wright, but it'll break down onto Barry Mackay. Mackay going to try and take on Dre Wright. He's got his feet clipped when John Beaton gives the free kick right on the halfway line. Peter Haring stands over it, rolls the ball back. Certainly been 3 goals so far. Sides shared 6 goals back in February 2020. Several lead changes in a game that ended 3 apiece, so we could be looking at a repeat here as Smith teases the ball past Stevie May, 30 yards from his own goal, comes out wide onto Andy Halliday. Halliday on the left-hand side, plays it forward. The header though was strong and away by Considine. Down this right-hand side, but Stevie May dispossessed on that occasion by Lewis Nielsen, who's looking very composed at the back for Hearts. Long by Gordon.
He's been excellent.
Good defending there, yep.
Devlin hits the ball off Carey and then comes to Crawford. Crawford back to Carey. Carey launches it long, looking for Jamie Murphy up against Michael Smith. Smith does enough to put him off and allows Nathan Atkinson to come and spar the ball out of play on that far side. Hearts 2, St Johnstone 1 earlier on today. Dundee United 0. Celtic 9, 2 hat-tricks among those 9 goals. So the ball is out of play. Andrew Considine will come forward and he'll come and try and get that long throw in. St Johnstone have lost their last 2. They've got the lead here. They're now looking for the equaliser. Atkinson heads the ball away, comes down to Carey. Carey went down under the challenge of Boyce. Boyce immediately turned to the referee as if to indicate Carey had made enough of it. Referee deeming Alan Preston enough contact for him to go down.
I think that was a foul. And as Michael touched on, we've got to watch Hearts giving free kicks in and around this area. Ali Crawford is very deft as well, hitting balls in. Carey with his left foot, Crawford with his right.
So Crawford, the man over the ball at the moment. Graham Carey says, no, come and join you. Hearts have got a one-man wall. And Gary Mackay-Stephen. Carey moves away. It's going to be Ali Crawford. Crawford sends it in. The header came off Michael Smith. Mitchell gets the header on, flicks. Ball drops down the edge of the 6-yard box. Peter Haring with, well, we'll call it a hoof. And now the play it goes. It was not a connection he was wanting.
Alan called it there, you know, Ali Crawford that time, and that was a wonderful ball in real pace, flat, difficult to defend.
So it's going to be a throw, and this will come from Ryan McGowan on his own stamping ground in his debut for Hearts back in 2008. As McGowan plays the ball in, good header away by Haring, and then Devlin gets the second clearance. He sends it inside. Josh Gianelli was jumping at nobody in particular and gives the free kick away. Graham Carey, yeah,
silly. I've just been talking about don't give free kicks away, and that's needless for Gianelli.
Right up Carey Street, Michael.
Aye, I mean he's saying to John Beaton like, oh, what have I done wrong? I mean, it's so blatant. He's not looking at the ball, and he just jumped into Carey. I mean, it's a free kick every day of the week.
30 yards out, Graham Carey. Well, started his youth career, Shelbourne and Celtic. Won the League Cup with St Mirren. Ross County player for a while, Plymouth CSKA. And now back on Scottish soil. Left foot, winds up, gets the shot, rattles off Andy Halliday. He's going to go down, that's hurt his shoulder. Gianelli gets the ball away. The referee stopped it for injury. I thought it was his shoulder rather than his head. But the referee was having none of it, just wants to check on the player again. Similar to the Hearts free kick that took out Merker Halberg. It's a sore one.
It is, but it looks like Andy Halliday's going to be okay. He's just getting his breath back here. He should be fine.
Yeah, he's going to be okay. Just down on one knee at the moment.
Hearts are running at the centre half.
I was going to say, you would then look to the youngsters.
Yeah, but you've still got the option of Haring going back there.
Here's Gary Mackay-Stephen. Hearts and St Johnstone head-to-head on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland on a Sunday afternoon. 41 minutes gone. Hearts have come from behind to lead by 2-1. Wright plays the ball away. Crawford gets it on, hits off Devlin. Play on, says the referee. No handball. Haring gets it through onto Boyce, midway inside his opponent's half. Turns Daniel Phillips, lays it back onto Cammy Devlin. Devlin gets the ball forward onto Mackay. Mackay's played that in behind Boyce. And it's away by Considine onto Phillips. Devlin with a sliding challenge in. Gianelli tries to go, and it's knocked away by Mitchell. Comes through onto Gary Mackay-Stephen. He robs Crawford. Tries to get away from Carey. Carey clobbered him first. And that is going to be a free kick. Graham Carey, it's one of these ones, you might have made connection with the ball, Michael Stewart, but you take the leg of the player first.
That's a free kick. It is. And I tell you, I'm pretty positive that Robbie Neilson will be over the moon with this performance. It's been hungry, it's shown loads of desire. I mean, that one there, they have the attack. Barry Mackay tries to slide it into Liam Boyce's feet, misses the pass just ever so slightly, but then they're right on top of St Johnstone, try to win the ball back quickly, and they do. And now they've got a free kick 25 yards out roughly.
Mackay's on.
Yep, and it's all down to just the hunger and the desire to win that ball back quickly once they'd given it away.
Out of the Hearts starting 11 today, only Josh Gianelli had scored this season. It's been joined by Rolls. Right, now it's Mackay, sends the ball in for the free kick just wide. Remy Matthews was either extremely comfortable and confident or was praying to high heavens that was going wide. Either way, it has gone wide, and it is going to be a chance for the goal kick, but there's the evident danger of Barry Mackay.
That was awfully close, and the goalkeeper seemed to be very relaxed about it. I've got to be honest, I thought that was nestling in the top corner.
Certainly wasn't far away. Stay with us on Sportsound. Half-time you'll hear from Jack Ross, the manager of Dundee United, earlier on today, and if you missed it, Dundee United 0, Celtic 9. We'll hear from Jack Ross with Kerry at half-time. Now the ball gets played forward by St Johnstone. Lewis Neilson goes to retrieve it, sends it forward. Daniel Phillips heads it almost in the direction he was facing, and he was facing slightly to the left-hand side, so it goes out of play. There will be a substantial amount of stoppage time here for a couple of injuries requiring treatment, so we'll see where that leads. Well, St Johnstone failed to score in 5 of the last 7 trips to Tynecastle, scored 2 single goals, got ahead this afternoon, but they're going to have to find a second goal from somewhere to get level. Hearts on the attack, the ball thrown in on the halfway line. The ball comes back again, nodded out of play, and Michael Smith will gather, just getting some instruction from the sidelines. And the throw will come in. The instruction was coming from Ewan Anderson, the fourth official, about how far he stole the last time. And now Michael Smith, he's gone further and further back. He's now been allowed to come forward. Ewan Anderson, the fourth official this afternoon, throws in. Header won by St Johnstone. Crawford though blocked by Haring. Sliding in was Phillips. Crawford, centre circle. Jams the ball on to Carey. Tries to Cruyff, almost gives it away. Devlin. Phillips went in heavily. And the yellow card comes out for Daniel Phillips. The referee was there immediately with a card. Hearts have two players down.
I'm more worried about Boyce.
Boyce and Devlin. Devlin was the one that got the contact, Alan. Boyce seemed to go down much more innocuously.
Twisted.
Yep.
Looked like that, yeah. I think Boyce is in a lot of pain.
Yep.
I think Phillips turned into him as well. I mean, certainly the free kick on Devlin, that's why the yellow card came out. But Hearts do have Liam Boyce down at the moment.
No, Liam Boyce is in a lot of pain. He's now holding the hand of the physio that's on. He's in a lot of pain. Devlin's okay. He's back up.
Well, the Hearts players gathering round the stricken striker at the moment. They're just checking on him. Craig Gordon has come up. He's speaking with the referee as well. And hopefully Brian McLaughlin will get a chance to have a look and see if there's a replay. And if there is, he can tell us what he's seen. Certainly the challenge, and the referee came out with a card, but right behind and just almost to the left of the vision saw Boyce going down. And with you, Alan, I think it was a turn and a twist that caused the problems. The Johnstone players have largely gone across to their bench. Graham Carey is down there chatting away to Liam Boyce. Graham Carey, Republic of Ireland international player, and they are going to call the stretcher on here. This is sad moments for Liam Boyce. It's these kind of moments, doesn't matter what colour of jersey you're wearing, you're concerned for your fellow pro. And the stretcher party will come on. Hearts will have to make a change. There's a lot in Shankland in terms of, I mean, Hearts are worried about Boyce, but you've got to manage the game as well, and Shankland's the obvious replacement.
Well, yeah, he is, but you know, it's not. Liam Boyce isn't playing straight through the middle. He's sitting up a little bit and he's back down. I mean, look, it's a major concern just in terms of, you know, looking ahead, because we're talking about Hearts needing another striker, even with him and Shankland fit. Well, Liam Boyce looking like he's suffered a bad one. It becomes imperative that they have somebody else, because you just don't know what the prognosis is at this moment in time. There was a definite. He came in when the ball was loose, and it looked like he got clattered and twisted and turned in the challenge, and you know, perhaps it's a knee or an ankle injury.
Well, let's go over to Brian McLaughlin. Brian, what did you see from the replay?
Yeah, I'm just watching another replay just now. Yeah, that challenge certainly merits a yellow card, but it was Liam Boyce who was actually going in for the second ball, and he's gone in with his it looks like his left leg, but it's his right leg where it seems to have twisted and just sat on the ground. And yeah, that doesn't look nice at all, I'm afraid, for Liam.
Thanks, Brian. Alan Preston, Michael Stewart alongside me. You've both obviously played at this level. Sometimes it's the initial pain that perhaps gets you more, but when you get hurt, how quickly do you realise how serious it is?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a bad one, you know straight away.
He'll know, Michael. He'll know, because he's been through it as well. You know, he's had bad injuries through his career. He'll know, and you can see with his reaction straight away. He was in distress. It doesn't look good at all, and he'll know himself. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it looks, because it did look bad.
But the major concern here for Hearts is that you've got Halkett and Kingsley who are carrying an injury or a knock. You've had Kai Rolls going off, and you've got Liam Boyce going off now. That's 4 players that would be in your starting 11 now injured. So this is far from ideal. Far from ideal. And recruitment becomes a major talking point for Robbie Neilson and the board now in the last few days of the window.
Oh, sad moments for Liam Boyce as he leaves the field of play on the stretcher. Well, this wishes obviously with the player, and Hearts will have to regroup here. And Liam Boyce is taken down the tunnel. The fourth official just indicating the change that is being made. I think it could be 6 minutes. Yeah. I'm glad you could read that, Alan, because I can't. 6 minutes. The red on that far side is illegible, but +6 now.
The big screen that's to the side of us.
I've now figured out it says it there. That's great. I like that. I can read that.
That's certainly going to help.
Just for you, Paul. We put that up just for you.
Just as well. I can't read red from this distance.
But there's a 6 foot number over on the left hand side now, which might help.
Hearts with a chance. Girelli plays it into the area. Fighting for it is Nielsen. It's going to be taken away by Dre Wright. Wright sends it forward up towards Jamie Murphy. Hearts leading by 2-1. It's going to be taken down by Andy Halliday, and Halliday lays the ball back onto Craig Gordon. Well, the Hearts goalie's error after 6 minutes allowed Graham Carey to finish. Kai Rolls and Liam Boyce. The scorers, Lawrence Shankland, just coming through, catches Daniel Phillips on the heel.
What Brian didn't tell us is, was there any actual contact from anybody on Liam Boyce? You know, Phillips had gone into the tackle with Cammy Devlin.
50-50 challenge with Carey, Michael, but yeah, there wasn't a free kick.
No, so Carey was, there was a little bit of contact from.
A little bit of contact, yeah, but it looked like it was
nothing.
It was his standing leg actually that seems to have twisted.
Right.
Thanks, Brian. Ball by the halfway line. Haring plays it forward. Breaks to Mitchell. Mitchell gets it on to Ryan McGowan. McGowan into Phillips. They're doing him, but he's lost the ball. And now here's a chance for Hearts. Shankland is Haring on the outside. Phillips, brilliant tackle. Back to Shankland. Gets the shot. Considine away. Devlin goes down. I don't think that's a penalty. The ball breaks back to the edge of the area. Onto Atkinson. Atkinson onto Barry Mackay. Gets the shot away. Breaks off McGowan. Now the ball at the edge of the box. Poked forward by Haring. Haring into Shankland. Shankland hits Considine. Ball comes off Considine. Goes wide. Driven in immediately by Atkinson. Off Considine. Goes back out to that right hand side. Back once more onto Atkinson. Round the corner it goes towards Shankland. Graham Carey is there. Carey is caught by Shankland. The ball is out of play. The referee decides it's not a free kick. It's just a throw. So much happening there.
Incredible. Shankland has a shot. Then as Devlin pulled in the box as he's trying to get the rebound.
Hearts have got a chance to get the ball in. It's with Ginelli by the byline, sends it in, comes past Shankland, gets the touch, and Phillips gets the ball away.
See, that's the thing with the supporters. They obviously feel that Daniel Phillips was involved in injuring Liam Boyce, but
nothing to do with him.
No, but because it was in such close proximity to the tackle with Cammy Devlin, I wasn't sure whether he'd rolled over and caught him as well. That was why I was obviously wanting Brian to clear that up, but yeah, that's quite clearly what the supporters feel, that he's had some sort of involvement in that.
Yeah, certainly from this angle it did look like he rolled into him. But Brian indicates that was not the case. The ball is out of play on that far side. Well, only one team has scored in 6 of the last 7 at Tynecastle Park, but today both are on the score sheet, and it's Hearts who lead by 2-1 as Ryan McGowan comes over the halfway line, not been over the halfway line too often, plays it forward straight at Lewis Nielsen, comes back onto Carey. Carey picks up, he's getting some booze now as the ball comes out wide onto that far side, onto Jamie Murphy. Murphy, former Bernard player, tries to accelerate past Lawrence Shankland, gets the ball out wide onto that far side, the chance to get the cross in, it's blocked. It's going to be a corner. The corner kick will come for St Johnstone. There's good play pushing up by Brown, and now the chance to get the ball in will come from Ali Crawford, and Crawford gets ready to deliver an in-swinger. Craig Gordon and Stevie May, one side of him. Nobody is actually picking up Jamie Murphy at the moment. Now the ball gets played in. Goalkeeper comes. Strong punch to get it way outside the area. Breaks out for Dre Wright in his own centre circle. Pushes it wide and gets it past Carey onto Crawford. Crawford back onto Carey. Carey left foot. Long high cross in, looking for McGowan. McGowan won the initial header, brings the ball down in the area, turns, spins and sends the ball behind. He had more time than he realised on that occasion. Stevie May had come out, dropped short for him, but he turns, spins, send it behind. It's going to be a goal kick to Hearts.
Quite a first half.
A nice quiet afternoon.
A rare goalkeeping mistake. We've had a really good goal from Hearts, and then the second one to put them 2-1 up was a great movement. We've had injuries, we've had 6 minutes of added on time, substitutions. It's been great stuff, apart from the injuries obviously.
Yeah, we wish all the players well. Here on BBC Radio Scotland, it has hopefully been an entertaining 45 minutes. We'll be with you for the whole second half. Remember, coming out a half-time reaction from Dundee United's Jack Ross on that hammering at home. As the ball gets played back, Dundee United rooted to the bottom of the table at the moment. Hearts looking to move their way up. St Johnstone 2. Really could benefit from a point from here, as coming through the back was Ryan McGowan on Josh Ginnelly. It's a free kick to Hearts, 10-12 yards inside their opponent's half, and a chance to swing the ball into the box before the half-time whistle goes. Hearts looking to try and extend their lead. And Josh Ginnelly is a little bit slow in getting up.
How we played now, Paul?
We have played, I think it's 50 minutes now. So it's it's taken a while. Here's Mackay. Mackay gets the ball back inside, all the way back inside their own half onto Nielsen. Hearts appear to be in no hurry to try and get forward. Ball played back onto Craig Gordon, comes out left foot, gets the ball forward looking for Barry Mackay. Alex Mitchell leans back, gets it away, man on loan from Millwall, but Hearts will pick up again. Gary Mackay, Stephen fakes to go outside, comes inside, and Mackay tried to return it to Mackay-Stephen, but it wasn't to be, and Graham Carey has the ball under pressure from Barry Mackay. Lovely little pass forward, gets it on to Murphy. Murphy turns, plays it wide onto Brown. Brown on the angle, Jamie Murphy went down, and the referee has given the free kick. Delayed reaction from John Beaton, and he decides it is a free kick. Jamie Murphy gets that decision a few yards inside his own half, and it's St Johnstone's turn to try and get themselves forward. And of course the free kick will be taken. Of course the ball gets knocked into the Hearts half. Hearts try to return it. Graham Carey will now have to chase it before he will get to play the ball forward. And again he puts the ball inside the Hearts half when it was clearly inside his own half, and he brings the ball back. Well, St Johnstone with a chance to get this forward. They took too long, and the half-time whistle goes. What a half it has been at Tynecastle. We've had injuries, we've had stoppages, we've had goalkeeping error, and we have had Hearts coming from behind against St Johnstone. Graham Carey after 6 minutes, but Rolls and Boyce putting Hearts level. Liam Boyce had to leave the field of play. In fact, both goal scorers have had to leave the field of play. Half-time, Tynecastle Park, Hearts 2, St Johnstone 1.
Hearts versus St Johnstone.
What a strike!
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
It has been a very, very lively first 45 minutes. St Johnstone going in front thanks to that mistake from Craig Gordon, but a big recovery from the home side. Injury issues for both sides as well. We'll chat about that. Just your thoughts. In the meantime, Craig Easton on the opening 45 and Hearts turning it around in that way.
Yeah, it's been exciting, Richard. The guys are rightly saying that, you know, there's been a lot of good stuff on show. There's been end-to-end football. Hearts coming back after losing a goal and looking really not quite comfortable, but definitely, yeah, creating more in an attacking sense. You know, disappointing to see Liam Boyce go off injured, because I thought he was looking really sharp. I liked Alan's description of his movement. It was excellent. I would say conversely, the defending wasn't great. They lost him. There was two defenders that could have picked him up, but yes, great, you know, good movement. I hope Liam Boyce is okay, because he definitely looked in a bit of distress. But Hearts have been quite impressive making the changes that they have. It doesn't look to have disrupted their flow from midweek, and yeah, St Johnstone have got a wee bit to do to get back in the game. They've lost a grip of it. They can't get a grip of it in the middle of the park, and Hearts are really dominating at the moment.
We should say, actually, just because we're going to hear from Jack Ross in just a moment or two, and I think everyone will understand. We want to hear from Jack in the wake of what happened to United earlier on today. But Phillips was booked for the challenge, and Devlin, it was a robust enough challenge. It certainly wasn't anything too over the top. And Liam Boyce comes in, and it's as he comes in, there's no contact between Phillips and Boyce, and there's another St Johnstone, was it Carey, and there's another St Johnstone player there, but actually it's just as he comes in, Liam Boyce, the knee seems to buckle, and it's very difficult to see clearly.
Even in the replays it was difficult, but I think Michael's right in saying it looked like his foot got stuck in the turf. You know, it did look like he went over the top of his knee, and over his weight went over his body, and as soon as you see that, you start thinking about your knee, and it looked like he was right away, knew something wasn't right. Phillips' challenge was the ball was there to go for. He slid in. It was a robust challenge, like you said. I'm not even sure it was a booking. It might have been, you know, he might have been slightly excessive force, if you want to call it that, but I liked the challenge. I thought it was quite a good one. After that, I think William Boyce is unlucky that the ball's still in that vicinity. He's went in, and as I say, there's maybe a little tangle of bodies and his foot's get caught in the turf, and yeah, it's not nice when you see somebody lying in the ground like that. And
it was horrible to see him.
And I hope he's I hope he's all right. Initially, it doesn't look great, but thoughts are with him.
Absolutely. I mean, he's just one of those where he's beating the ground, and you just know immediately. So just horrible accident that as he tumbled round, or as he came round and kind of tumbled over. But keep our fingers crossed that.
And we've also had a concussion from Halberg getting struck with the ball as well.
Yeah, I mean that was horrendous.
Don't see
actually,
that a lot of times either. Yeah.
Haring smashed in the free kick, and it was as if Melker Halberg had been caught with a haymaker.
Yeah.
It was incredible, like a boxer who's almost punch drunk. So again, our best to Melker, and clearly. And thankfully they got him off very quickly indeed, and Ali Crawford came on. Right, more about that to come. But let's get back to the game at Tannadice. We'd wait a long time to hear from Jack Ross. Really moved into live commentary, significantly into the live commentary at Tynecastle before Jack emerged from the dressing room at Tannadice. Of course, Dundee United 0, Celtic 9, the full-time scoreline at Tannadice. And this is what Jack had to say to our man Kerr Deenadson.
Jack, thanks for coming out. First of all, it's an unwanted bit of history for the club, record home defeat. Just give me, in your own words, your take on the performance.
Humiliating and embarrassing. I think first of all for me as a manager to be in charge of a team that delivered that. I think for the players to be part of it, and then for the football club, you understand why supporters would feel humiliated and embarrassing. So we offer them an apology for that, because it's nowhere near good enough. And I own the responsibility of it as a manager for producing a team that's turned in that type of performance and result, because you shouldn't be beat by that number of goals any level of football, and irrespective of the standard of the opponent.
Yeah, I'm guessing you'd be saying the same if that was just one result in isolation, but on top of the previous results, 3 here against St Mirren, 4 at Hearts and 7 at Alkmaar. Can you explain just what's going on?
No, it's not easy to give an explanation for it, because as a manager you continue looking to solve problems, whether you're playing well or poorly, because each game presents individual problems to solve, and we are continually looking for the answers, diligent in our work to do so, but right now we haven't found them. We've got to continue to try and do so. We're searching for them in terms of personnel and system, but we're a long way off finding them at the moment, but we've got to continue to try and do so.
Your captain has just done a very honest interview saying don't blame the manager, blame the players. Are you getting that feedback from the players as well?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that in terms of what we're producing during the week, the interaction I have with them, the communication, the preparation, and what we get in the training pitch, I've never felt an issue with that. What we're not getting at the moment is positive outcome on the pitch in a match day. So, previously as a manager and currently, I will always own the responsibility. I think I'm pretty protective of players. And I will continue to take the criticism. I'll not rain down on the back of today. But we all have to own our own responsibility within that. So I'll take my share of it, and then the players need to own that individual responsibility. They know that. I've spoken to them inside about it, because they ultimately are in control of their own behaviours and actions. So they can fix them individually to begin with before we even look at it as a team.
You talk about everyone owning a share in the responsibility. It's hard for a manager to survive a sequence of results like this. I'm even hesitating to ask the question because it's so early in your time here, but do you think you will be given more time? Do you want to be given more time? Is your heart still in it here?
Well, I've taken this question in two parts. I think in terms of being given more time, I think that's obviously a question for other people at football clubs as always. But in terms of wanting it, of course, there's two things. First of all, having a belief in your managerial abilities based on what you've done previously, and also based on I think the day I stop being as diligent in my work, then I would question myself, but that's not the case, and hopefully it never will be the case. And then beyond that, I've had a variety of challenges both in my playing and then coaching and management career to try and overcome. So by character you have resilience, because you're relatively calm in how you deliver messages. It doesn't mean to say you're any less passionate about your job and driven. So the drive and passion to succeed remains. I want to put this right. I want to fix it, because I said I'm suffering at the moment from that embarrassment and humiliation from a professional pride perspective. So of course, I absolutely want to fix it.
And have you had a chance to speak to anyone on the board at the moment? I'm guessing you're hopeful that they will give you the time that you're asking for.
Yeah, well, I want to fix it, as I said, and in terms of having any dialogue, no, I mean, certainly in the aftermath of the game, is initially dealing with the players and my staff. So anything beyond that would always happen in the aftermath of that.
They may have a decision to make to stick or twist. Given the sequence of results that you just had, would you blame them if they decided to move on, or is it just too early?
No, I think when you're in a period like this, and you're in charge of a team that has produced these types of performance, any speculation, heat, debate, discussion over your position is natural, and I have no issue with that. Whether that's internal or external, you cannot shy away from it. So, however, as I've said previously, the want to put right the wrongs of recent weeks, because that's what it is for me at the moment, remains as strong. So that I think that willingness to do my job properly on a daily basis, a weekly basis, whatever it may be, will continue for as long as I have the opportunity to do so.
Absolutely. And do you feel you have that backing? Do you feel you will have that security, if you like?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's said to me otherwise at the moment, but as I said to you, in the aftermath of today, which is a real sore one, the only people I've had dialogue with currently are players and staff.
And it's a picking up job, I guess, for the next match, which is what, Motherwell, is that?
No,
you got League Cup, sorry, you got League Cup straight away.
Yeah, we have to continue to try and solve these problems, because we've got a lot of them at the moment. We've got to find answers, we've got to find so many better aspects of our play than we're producing at the moment. But we have an opportunity very quickly to do that. Big 2 games ahead for us in League and Cup at Livingston and Motherwell. So we've got a group of players in there that are capable in terms of ability. It's up to me to get that from them over these coming games.
And the question that no reporter likes to ask, do you think you will still be in charge for the League Cup match?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment my preparation begins for the next game as it always does.
Jack, appreciate your time. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah, fair play to Jack Ross, because that could not have been easy. He faced up to everything there, Craig, didn't he?
Yeah, he's never shirking responsibility, Jack. You can say that about him. And he's hurting big time. You can hear it in his voice, you can feel it, and you know, he knows what the United fans will be hurting, he knows the players will be hurting, but you know, he understands, and I think one of the biggest bits was owning. Everyone needs to own a share of the responsibility. He'll be questioning his personnel. He said that his personnel and his system, he still doesn't feel, he's not got that right. He says that, or he's working through that, but it's hard to see where you go, because you've tried different players and you're still kind of getting the same answer. And he's all, we didn't hear Ryan Edwards' his interview, but I would imagine it was similar to the one that he gave after AZ Alkmaar away when he took responsibility then. I mean, how many times can you keep saying take responsibility? You've got to do it, like you said, you've got to do it in the pitch. It comes to a stage where the game's running away for you so much. The players are the ones on the pitch. They've got to do their jobs. He's obviously saying he sees a different light in them in training. When you go over the white line on a Saturday or a Sunday, whenever that may be, a manager can only affect that game so much. And at this moment in time, the players are probably not taking their share of the responsibility. And Jack's going to try and take it, and he's going to take it as well, because he said that he maybe doesn't get the system right or the personnel, so he's saying that, and he's trying to help and protect his players, but he can only do so much.
We'll hear from Ryan Edwards a bit later in the programme. Like Michael and Alan there at Tynecastle, just in terms of United there, since that performance, that win against AZ Alkmaar a little over 3 weeks ago, they've played 5 matches, they've lost all 5, they've scored 1 goal and they've conceded 24. So they're conceding on average very nearly 5 goals a game. It's got to be up there with one of the worst runs in the club's history.
Absolutely. And just by the sheer nature of the results is what is making it difficult for Jack, it's making it difficult for the players, and that pressure is it looks like it's unbearable for some of them, but the only way out of it is by working hard and finding a result from somewhere, because fundamentally that's not a bad squad. That squad that Dundee United have put together, that I think everybody looked upon as being as strong a squad as they've had in probably a decade, hasn't all of a sudden become bad, but the confidence has been rocked so much by that result in Alkmaar. And it's not easy going and playing Thursday. Then you've got Livingston at the weekend, and then you get another drubbing off in the return leg in Alkmaar, and then you come up against Hearts away from home. These are difficult games. The St Mirren game, a real bad one for them, and in that there today against a rampant Celtic. So there's a certain element of slightly unfortunate with the games that they've had coming off the back, but that counts for nothing now when they're looking at themselves sitting bottom of the table, conceding goals left, right and centre. They've got to find a backbone somehow, stop conceding goals and show a desire to shut teams down, work hard and not allow them to score goals, because they're being broken down far too easily. But they've got an ability in that squad that is capable of propelling them up to the table if they are able to steady things and calm it down. And that only comes about by stopping conceding goals.
Sporting highlights tonight at 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel. You'll see those 9 Celtic goals and the many, many other opportunities that they had over the course of the 90 minutes. You'll also see the extended action from the game at Tynecastle. Hearts 2, St Johnstone 1 at the break. Changes, I think, for Saints already. Both teams have been forced to make changes in the opening 45 minutes. It's back to our commentary team of Michael, Allen and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Richard. Underway at the start of this second half. Hearts moving from left to right. The home kit of maroon, white and maroon. And the ball drops down onto Cammy Devlin. Devlin will see the ball back onto Nielsen. Nielsen back onto Craig Gordon. Gordon hooks the ball up to the halfway line. Liam Gordon is one of the changes. We'll go across to Brian McLaughlin in just a moment to get confirmation of those. As the ball comes out onto Michael Smith. Smith plays it long onto Shanklin. Shanklin, the ball drops down onto Considine. Closed down quickly by Giannelli, so he'll turn and play the ball back inside onto Mitchell. Mitchell now plays it onto that far side. Opportunity for Dre Wright to get involved. Inside it comes onto Graham Carey. Carey's in trouble here, and he somehow manages to knock the ball away only as far as Atkinson. Almost through to Giannelli. It comes out to Mackay. Looked like he was offside. Ball back onto Peter Haring. 20 yards out, tries the shot. Shot goes wide. We go over to Brian McLaughlin. Details of those half-time changes.
Yeah, you mentioned Liam Gordon on. Also coming on, number 19, Adam Montgomery. The players being replaced, James Brown. Maybe not surprisingly, Daniel Phillips as well, yellow carded in the first half.
Thank you very much indeed, Brian. So Ryan McGowan will go into the midfield role. Liam Gordon will drop in at the back. Yellow boots to Dre Wright on that far side, and so Adam Montgomery just slots into where James Brown was playing. It's going to be picked up by Dre Wright. Plays it wide, just outside the box. Right hand side for Stevie May. May is being well challenged by Halliday, has to play the ball back. He might be overrun here. He's been knocked to the ground by Barry Mackay. It's a fairly simple free kick as Carey goes down. Josh Giannelli doesn't appreciate it. Those two changes, Alan Preston, your thoughts?
Well, Gordon's the club captain, so it's good to get him on. And I've actually seen the young lad that's come on playing in the sort of left wing back area. A very good player, Montgomery has. He's got a lovely left foot. He's done well at the early part of the season for St Johnstone. So it'll be positive changes for the manager.
Adam Montgomery, Scotland under 21 player. Now here's the opportunity. Carey tries to get the ball through. He gets it on to May. May into the middle. It's cut out just by Craig Gordon. There was pressure coming in. But Craig Gordon doing well. It's in ahead of Jamie Murphy. Sends that ball long right down the middle. Remy Matthews goes into reverse and gathers. And now the ball gets played out onto Considine. Considine over that halfway line. Before Murphy sliding in there was Adam Montgomery. Montgomery on for Brown. Now the ball comes back. Considine calls his goalkeeper to come and get it. He doesn't do so. He wants it played to his feet. And from inside his area, Considine plays it to Matthews. Matthews sends it long, takes a couple of bounces, goes out of play. Yeah, it certainly has been a fair old shuffle, Michael Stewart, from both managers, having to not only just replace players but also change where others have been playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we spoke about before the game the number of changes that Hearts were making off the back of the game during the week, and then within the game itself, it's incredible the number of, like, not only the players that had ended up having to go off, but there was a number of stoppages, heavy tackles, and which have led to changes that are having to happen within this game as well. So it's no surprise really that there's had to be a shuffling of the deck.
Archer trying to come forward through Josh Gianelli, but he loses out to Mitchell. Mitchell turns, plays the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw into Hearts as they come down this right-hand side. Ball down with Haring. Haring into the sunshine on the far side. Barry Mackay is there. Mackay checks back inside. The cross into the middle. Considine has to head the ball away. Does so. Picked up by Ali Crawford. Crawford now looking to gather. Crawford trying to time the run forward was Murphy. Murphy was offside as soon as he touches that ball. And it will simply be brought to a halt. Our officials this afternoon, John Beaton, Ross McLeod and Graham McNally. Hearts leading St Johnstone by 2-1. So plenty of shuffling going on, Alan Preston.
I can't ever remember Ryan McGowan playing as a midfield player in there, centre midfield. Probably just protecting the three centre backs that they've got at the back. Or looks like it could be a 4 now actually at times.
Yeah, Gordon, Mitchell, Considine, Montgomery may well be the 4. McGowan's in that midfield area alongside Carey. Crawford has then slotted it in behind May and Murphy. Andre Wright is wide on that far side as well. Just lingering about, looks like it is fairly fluid. Hearts have lost their 2 goal scorers. And as the long ball gets played forward, Nielsen on the header, sends it forward, picked up by Mitchell. Mitchell returns the header to the centre circle. Lewis Nielsen brings the ball down. It's picked up well by Ryan McGowan. McGowan plays it forward looking for May. That was won by Smith. And the ball touched inside. Halliday has it. Halliday plays it out wide onto Gary Mackay. Stephen. Now the chance for Hearts to get moving. Now the lovely ball played back onto Gary Mackay. Stephen from Barry Mackay. He's outside the box. He's going to try and take on his man Alex Mitchell, but all he can do is roll over, run the ball. It just goes behind. It is going to be a goal kick to St Johnstone. Well, that's what Hearts can have. Barry Mackay can pick people out. And the opportunity now for Remy Matthews to get things moving back in Scottish football. This is his 5th appearance. His last 3 for Hamilton Accies. All produced clean sheets, but he's been beaten today twice. Once by Kai Rawls, the other by Liam Boyce. Hearts leading by 2-1. Matthews plays the ball down the left-hand side of St Johnstone. Murphy tries to come and gather, doesn't do so, breaks inside his own half. Crawford picks up, pulls the ball back on to Liam Gordon. Gordon steps inside, centre circle, ball on the right foot, short pass on to Graham Carey. Haring hassles him, so he has to play it back to Gordon. Gordon back onto Carey, inside his own half. Going for the little clip ball through. Montgomery's made a great run. If he could have just gotten the end of it, just went too early. The flag is up there, but that was an ambitious pass, Michael Stewart.
Well, it's a great ball. You know that, again, we said it with the deliveries from Graham Carey. You know that he's got that ability. I'm just conscious that for Atkinson in that moment, when Carey's stepping in onto his left foot, you have got to be aware of that run that's getting made in behind you, because you know it's the pass that he's looking to make. It's like Barry Mackay for Hearts. When he steps off that line, you know he's trying to drop it over the back of the defence. You've got to be aware of that. You've got to be conscious of it as the defender. And I'm not 100% convinced that Atkinson really knew the move that was about to unfold.
I've never seen it at all, Michael. If Montgomery was a little bit patient, he was in. It's a lovely ball over the top, but he had no clue where Montgomery was.
Hearts of Craig Gordon in goal. It's now Halliday, Nielsen and Smith. It's Barry Mackay, Haring, Devlin, Atkinson, Gianelli, Shanklin and Gary Mackay, Stephen. So Hearts leading by 2-1. St Johnstone, it's their 9th game of the season, 3 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses in the first 8. They're trying to get level here. Lovely ball through by Crawford. Murphy outside the box on the left-hand side. Tries to drag the ball away from Nielsen. Low ball in. May couldn't get on the end of it. And Gary Mackay, Stephen at the edge of the 6-yard box, beats Graham Carey to the ball and gets the ball away up to the halfway line. Now the back pass is short. The goalkeeper has come out. Josh Gianelli has it outside the box. He's got Mitchell in front of him. Gianelli pulls it back to Shanklin. Goalkeeper got back and made the save. There's a chance for Peter Haring. Haring goes down. The referee has a look and says that Liam Gordon won the ball. Brilliant tackle from Liam Gordon. And St Johnstone through Ryan McGowan bring the ball away out on that far side. Here's Dre Wright. Could have been 3-1. St Johnstone looking to make it 2-2. Could have been 2-2 as well. Ball inside to Ali Crawford, 30 yards from goal. Gets it from Dre Wright. Pushes it back out wide. Chance for Graham Carey. Out on the right hand side. Wants the ball on the left foot. Does the step over. Cuts inside. Goes it in. Craig Gordon with a touch over the top. Brilliant football from both teams.
That's class. End-to-end stuff. Murphy flashing it across one end, Gianelli cutting it back to Shanklin. Good goalkeeping. Brilliant tackle by Gordon on Haring. Then up the other end, Carey on his wonderful left foot, trying to bend it in the top corner. Craig Gordon tipping it over the bar. What a bit of action in the last minute.
Tremendous football here. Hope you're enjoying all the action. Hearts leading St Johnstone by 2-1. Corner to come. Crawford lines it up, pings it in. It comes off the back of it, and a chance, and it's in. It is in from Andrew Considine. St Johnstone level. Andrew Considine ever present for St Johnstone this season. Brings St Johnstone back level. Hearts 2, St Johnstone 2.
He's always dangerous in the box, Andrew. It's a really good corner again, flicked on at the near post, and he's got the simplest of tasks from about a yard out, just knocking it home. You know what, it's a really good, well-worked corner, flicked on, good pace on the corner, and Considine's been doing that his whole career, just knocking them in.
Well, 2 apiece here at Tynecastle. Hearts were behind Michael Stewart. They came back to level and then take the lead, and now St Johnstone have levelled up. Been a good afternoon so far.
Yeah, it's just been a continuation in the second half of what we saw in the first. It's been breathless. Both sides, playing their part here, not letting up. But Hearts with an opportunity.
Here's Lawrence Shanklin. Shanklin, good tackle from Crawford from behind. Atkinson went down off the ball. Going to watch everything here as the ball gets played out wide. Trey Wright sends it down the side. Jamie Murphy on that right-hand side goes down under the challenge, Andy Halliday. The ball goes out of play. It's a throw-in just by the halfway line. Hearts last scored more than one at home and lost at Tynecastle in the league. Well, they did it 3 times in the championship season. Kilmarnock, Raith and Queen of the South all won here by 3-2. Ball is out wide on that far side, and it is going to be a throw to Hearts. I didn't think the ball had gone out. It's a bye kick, yeah, the ball hadn't gone out. Credit to the ball boy for trying to throw it in to Nathan Atkinson, but the flag hadn't gone up, and it is correctly a goal kick. It's bizarre. We're seeing absolutely everything here today. The ball being thrown in by the ball person. The ball was nicely out of play. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Here's the chance now for Craig Gordon. Hearts and St Johnstone 2 apiece. Carey and Considine for St Johnstone. Rolls and Boyce for Hearts. Both the Hearts goal scorers off injured. St Johnstone have it inside their own half. Montgomery hooks it forward. Nielsen watches, see if Halliday wins the header. He did so onto Smith, and Smith gets the header back onto Craig Gordon. Craig Gordon bowls it out onto that far side. Gary Mackay-Stephen is there just outside his box, left hand side, clips it down to Barry McCowd. He's short pulled and then pushed by Liam Gordon, and unsurprisingly it's a free kick.
Gordon's had a lively 10 minutes since he's come on. Great tackle with Haring. He's involved in a couple of fouls already. Sure, the referee will tell him one more and you're in the book.
Well, does enjoy playing here. Liam Gordon made his debut against Hearts back in 2016. As Hearts play the long ball forward, runs out of play though on that left hand side, the sunshine part of the ground at the moment. And it's going to be a chance for Liam Gordon to get the ball in his 6th season on the top team at St Johnstone, and he decides he's going to leave it for Dre Wright. So Dre Wright will get ready with the throw. Right, with that throw inside the Hearts half. Halliday just stuck a boot out, managed to get the ball away. Hearts on that far side through Gary Mackay-Stephen. Breaks down onto Haring. Haring to Nielsen. Nielsen has to play it back onto Craig Gordon. Little flick up by Gordon, has to go backwards and then send the ball away. It wasn't a particularly good one, almost intercepted by Ryan McGowan, and Stevie May has it, although it's been given away on the halfway line. Carey slides in, ball breaks on to Andrew Considine, the goal scorer. Now the ball played through Adam Montgomery coming into the middle, but Craig Gordon sliding from his goal to come and gather. Now it's picked up by Michael Smith. Smith looking to gather. He's got Mackay-Stephen on one side. He takes his time and then plays it out towards him. Has to drag the ball down, gets it down onto Barry Mackay. Mackay, some space to move away from Murphy. Accelerates, plays it into Ginnelly. Ginnelly tries to knock it round the corner, but Liam Gordon goes to ground, stretches, turns the ball out of play, throw into Hearts. 15 yards from the corner flag on that far side. Hearts from left to right towards the Gorgie Road stand here at Tynecastle. Now it's played back by Ginnelly. Devlin on to Nielsen. Nielsen onto this near side. Here's Michael Smith. Smith wants some movement from Shankland. Hearts are going to make a change. Here comes Atkinson. Atkinson driving just across the pitch, right to left. Oh, tried to play it through to Ginnelly. It was well read by Alex Mitchell. The ball comes back on to Halliday. It looked like he was going nowhere, and then played the lovely little reverse pass. Hearts play the ball into the box. It's going to go through. It's going to be a goal kick, so we can go and get details of that Hearts change from Brian McLaughlin.
Yeah, Alan Forrest had a terrific opening 45 minutes on Thursday night. He's coming on for the last half hour or so. The player he will be replacing is number 11, Gary Mackay-Steven.
No great surprise. There would have been too many wingers on if it had been really anybody else. So Alan Forrest is on, the former under-21 international. That's Hearts' third change of the match.
Yeah, you know, I think Mackay-Stevens wasn't not been great. Forrest has hit the ground running in his Hearts career. He's played very well. Comes off the wing, gets shots, scores goals. So again, another good addition to the Hearts 11 this afternoon.
Long ball played forward right down the middle. May tries to get there, might break for Murphy. It's headed inside by Smith, and Halliday is to hook the ball away up towards the halfway line. Gordon wins the header. Atkinson goes in, heads it over the halfway line, trying to track back there. And put it away was Andrew Considine. Two players go up for the ball. Atkinson is down. He went underneath Adam Montgomery. Nathan Atkinson remains down. Adam Montgomery wanders away. Well, the physios have had their work cut out. I don't think they'll be needed here. I think he's just be slightly winded. Michael Smith just checking on him, making sure he's okay. And well, he's not convinced about getting up Michael Stewart. He's just currently laying on the deck because the referee helps him up.
Finally.
Just looks like he's hit his hip or his groin a wee bit. But, you know, very much in the same vein as what we were talking about in the first. This is an important game for Hearts, just to get 3 points. He's gone down again.
Well, he is down. Hearts have made 3 sets of changes, so that is a concern for Hearts. But again, the physio staff come on. Hearts were forced into individual changes with Boyce and Rolls going off. And well, Atkinson is currently down. This is Ryan McGowan.
St Johnstone would be different because theirs was a concussion, sir. Is that right?
If it's been deemed as concussion, it would. Yeah,
it's been hit in the face.
Yeah,
so.
You would think that would be the case. So, well, you know, you have so many players on the bench now, Alan. Some managers like to use, you know, the potential 5 changes. Others think that's too many. What's your thoughts on that?
You know what? I think I'd like it to go back to 3, if I'm being honest. But allowing them to use 5, then fair enough. You know, the game is frenetic. They've got a lot of games these days. They're coming thick and fast. Especially now when you look at it, there's going to be a break because of the World Cup. You know, the games are coming. It's midweek, midweek weekend for the foreseeable future.
I think Craig Gordon was just over there checking the status whether Hearts would be allowed to make a change. I think Atkinson's going to be all right, but he wouldn't because you're allowed 3 sets of changes. So Hearts are certainly having a look at Nathan Atkinson. Connor Smith is ready, so Hearts might be getting a dispensation here. Brian McLaughlin is over on that far side. Atkinson certainly appears to be hurt, so he's starting to hobble his way off.
That's a real concern. There's another potential injury for Hearts. You know, they've got a League Cup tie at the weekend, and then next weekend they're away to Livingston as well on the AstroTurf, so it's a tough schedule.
Yeah, there's a lot of football coming up. You'll hear, of course, all the action on BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound. So the referee just checking. So Hearts are being allowed to make this change. Now, wasn't it as if the opposition get an extra change, you're also allowed an extra change? It was certainly in place last season. And Connor Smith comes onto the field to play, the 19-year-old Scotland under-21 player. So Nathan Atkinson.
So that'll be Michael Smith will come to the right. Haring will go back and play centre half.
You know what, Alan, I've got more arrows and lines and diversions on my team graphics than we have in Edinburgh's traffic at the moment. There is no chance of me understanding what it is, but he'll certainly come on. Talented young player. As Smith comes out to the right back, Haring is pulled in, as Alan has said. Free kick is in. Devlin gets the ball forward. Opportunity now for Barry Mackay to play it out to George Gianelli. Gianelli tries to go for the byline, gets it in. Low ball should be cleared, and is just thumped clear by Andrew Considine. And out of play it goes. Michael Smith will get ready to get the throw in. 63 minutes gone at Tynecastle. 2 apiece. Ginnelly plays the ball back inside, gets it back. Ginnelly steps away from his man, pulls back onto Barry Mackay. Mackay steps it all the way back onto Peter Haring. Haring sends it inside. Here's the opportunity for Lewis Nielsen to come forward. He wants movement in front of him with Shanklin. Shanklin played it out wide, tried to get in on that far side, but there was no way through. And St Johnstone managed to clear. And Peter Haring will gather. Haring plays it forward onto Devlin. Devlin onto Mackay. Mackay standing on the halfway line, pushes the ball through onto Josh Ginnelly. Ginnelly tries to take it through Ryan McGowan. Never a clever idea. Montgomery has it, but he's given it away to Ginnelly. Into the area is Lawrence Shanklin. Shanklin blocked by Alex Mitchell. Still with Shanklin outside the 6-yard box. Pulls it into Smith. Smith into the back post. Ball breaks down. Here's the opportunity for Hearts, trying to pull it down and get it away. It's Alan Forrest. Oh, what a chance. Breaks back, and here's a sliding ball from Mackay. Another great moment from Hearts, Alan Preston.
It was a great, lovely ball to the back post by Smith. It then breaks out to Forrest. He hits the shot, hits the bar, and flies away. Break for St Johnstone there.
Goalkeeper was beaten, and Alan Forrest couldn't find the back of the net. Now it's flicked on. Shanklin, little hook ball on. The other's out of play. I mean, for all their changes, Michael Stewart, Hearts, the momentum, they haven't lost it. And St Johnstone are now teetering slightly despite having got level.
Well, even still, you know, we spoke about in the first half when Hearts were trying to work their way back in. It was very open, it was a bit loose. Still feels that way at the moment. There's been so many changes. Hearts are definitely still dangerous, but you still feel like there's something there for St Johnstone as well. You know, the game's very, very open.
He plays the ball forward. Nielsen outside his box on the right hand side as well. Get away from Murphy. Here's now Connor Smith. Smith plays it forward onto Shanklin. Shanklin turns it in, but it's behind Josh Giannelli, so the ball is out of play. And Andrew Considine will come forward to take the throw. On the score sheet this afternoon, scoring for the first time as a St Johnstone player, and taking great pleasure in doing so. Ball is back with Remy Matthews. Matthews scoops it high in the air. Two Hearts players go for it, Halliday and Devlin. Halliday goes down under the challenge of Crawford. Devlin then comes through. Free kick is going to be given, and the yellow card comes out for Ali Crawford for the challenge just outside the centre circle, left hand side. And Andy Halliday will take his time.
I'd imagine Hearts team midweek will be fun to watch, fun to see, whatever it is.
You still got your boots, yeah?
Any chance of anyone predicting it? Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy 11. Kilmarnock come here on Wednesday evening. Tuesday night, Annan against Aberdeen, Dundee against Falkirk, Partick Thistle, Arbroath, Rangers, Queen of the South. All the action on Sportsound. Hearts, Killie, Livy, Dundee United, Motherwell, Inverness, Cally, Thistle, Ross County against Celtic on Wednesday evening. At the League Cup, and then we'll unleash more league action, then a flurry of European action to come as well. Hearts will be involved as Connor Smith tries to go through, but it's well won by Considine. On to May, almost given away, but Montgomery held up. Giannelli couldn't get in there. May trying to come down the side. Montgomery under pressure. Michael Smith steps up. Well, for the want of a better term, banjos the ball forward, but it is going to be a goal kick. Hearts were claiming for a deflection, but it wasn't coming. It is going to be a goal kick, and Remy Matthews, well, the ball boy's arguing with the goalkeeper. Give him the ball. He said there was one at the side of your net. Well, the goalkeeper wanted the ball, so we've seen a ball boy throw a ball in when the ball wasn't out, and now one arguing with the goalkeeper. I wonder what else we're going to see this afternoon. It's two apiece. It's crazy. Remy Matthews, the old goalkeeper, pick it from one side and take it to the other, and then comes back and gets ready to take the ball away. Plays it down the right hand side in the sunshine. Two apiece. Some afternoon at Tynecastle. Haring can't get on the end of it, but it'll bounce all the way through onto Craig Gordon. Gordon bowls the ball out onto Michael Smith. Smith gathers, plays it forward, picked up by Connor Smith. Connor Smith and Michael Smith both on the field for Hearts. There's Halliday. Halliday plays the ball forward onto Connor Smith. Round the corner it comes onto Alan Forrest. Forrest has Mackay outside him, can't find him. Picked up by Graham Carey. Gathered on that far side and won by Dre Wright. Dre Wright goes down, nice little tumble and back up. And he's on his side, a throw over on the sunshine. And the ball was out of play. It's taken a while to come back. Well, just been 3 draws in 29 games so far this season. This one locked at 2 apiece. St Johnstone currently on 3 points. They would join Kilmarnock on 4 and move above them on goal difference as the ball comes into the middle. Sent away by Michael Smith, long and high, chasing towards Shanklin. Gordon The header back to his goalkeeper. If anything, had a little bit more power on it than the goalkeeper was expecting.
Don't like keepers coming out like that. It's good, really good header in the end, but the keeper's no need for it to come all the way out there.
It's one of these ones you wonder, and it's straight to the body of the goalkeeper. Jamie Matthews drops the ball, plays it over the halfway line. Nielsen going up with May. May tickles the ball round the corner. And here's a chance for Crawford. Got the ball, played to him. Crawford at the edge of the air, goes for the curling shot. Craig Gordon leaping to the side, put out the right hand and swatted the ball round the corner. Ali Crawford was played in well by Jamie Murphy. Great effort.
Really good effort for Ali Crawford there, just cutting back in, and you're thinking to yourself, is he going to be able to find the angle to get the strike? A wonderful save from Craig Gordon.
Had a couple of good saves so far this afternoon. Craig Gordon and St Johnstone take the corner, but they've come backwards, although Montgomery will try and play it into the middle. Nielsen will get the ball away. Hearts had everybody back behind the ball. Dre Wright is up by the halfway line on the right hand side. He prepares to switch play from right to left. Waiting for it is Considine, under control well. He's going to get that cross into the area, bangs off the head of Michael Smith. That's going to go behind. It's another corner kick to St Johnstone. Your old team Alan Preston are pushing here.
Yeah, a bit of sustained pressure. I think they've made some good signings, I really have. I know Crawford came in January. Fans weren't enamoured with him. I think he's been a good signing. Carey looks as if he's got to be a terrific signing for them. They just always struggle to have a centre forward that scores them goals.
Just bags of experience, Graham Carey, and I think that's what they've been missing. Here's Crawford with the corner. Hearts get the header away up to the edge of the area, trying to chase to get it away was Forrest. Now it's returned back in, but it's too far from Ali Crawford. Out of play it goes. 70 minutes gone at Tynecastle. The final 20 to come in. And St Johnstone hadn't scored in the last two, and they didn't score the 3 of the 4 top flight games this season. Got the 2 against Motherwell, have the 2 against Hearts here. And it's 2 apiece. And the ball comes over the halfway line. May wins the initial header, taken down by Peter Haring. Now it's centre half, comes out wide. On to Michael Smith, appearance number 170 for Hearts. Over the halfway line he comes, on to Josh Giannelli. Giannelli clips the ball back, centre circle inside the Hearts half. Nielsen steps forward, plays it, put a punch up to Forrest. Forrest outside, on to Mackay. Mackay looks to see what his options are. Halliday in front of him, will play it into the area. Shanklin takes the touch. Carey comes in, the ball breaks back almost onto Forrest. Will fall onto Mackay. Mackay nutmegs his man, and then a great sliding challenge by Mitchell. Back to Giannelli. 3 goals in his career against St Johnstone for Hearts, but he lashes that one wide. It remains Hearts 2, St Johnstone 2.
Still look dangerous. You know, both sides. I said it a moment ago that I still feel that there could be something in for St Johnstone. They had that strike up the other end. Wonderful save for Craig Gordon, but straight up the other end, and you can see what Hearts are capable of. They've got players that are inventive, they're creative. Just feel when it dropped to Josh Giannelli on the edge of the box there, a little bit of awareness and composure. Michael Smith's outside him, loads of space, sliding his feet. He needed to be able to get a ball in behind the defence, and there was loads of bodies in the box. Instead he's having a speculative shot from distance, which was always going to be difficult.
Hearts play the ball forward. Halliday forward onto Shanklin. Mackay will send it out wide to the right hand side. Josh Giannelli. Montgomery is with him. He's going to get support from Michael Smith. That's where it goes. The pass is a terrible one. Montgomery had it on the angle all the way, and Crawford pokes the ball down the side. Connor Smith will pick up. Back onto Peter Haring. 2 apiece. Be amazed if the score finished like that. Chances for both teams at the moment. Here's Michael Smith. Smith plays it out wide onto Josh Giannelli. Giannelli, low little ball in. Considine got his foot in there. Comes back to Crawford. Inside the box it goes back to Considine. He'll hook the ball away. And out of play, it'll be a throw into Hearts through Peter Haring. St Johnstone just 1 win in the last 10 away in the Scottish Premiership. That against Motherwell. The last time they actually scored 3 goals away from home was Motherwell. It was another away win of theirs back in February 2021. They've struggled on the road to find the net. They found the net twice here today. Took the lead and then equalised again. Carey after 6. Rolls and Boyce for Hearts made it 2-1. Andrew Considine, the only scorer in the second half. Ball on the halfway line, taken down by Jamie Murphy. Tracking back though was Andy Halliday. Halliday wins it. Short little pass on to Barry Mackay. Back onto Halliday. Halliday didn't feature in either of the matches against FC Zurich. Hopefully he's got a little point to prove to Robbie Nielsen that he wants to be involved in all these European adventures coming up. Istanbul, Riga and Florence all to come for Hearts. Shankland out wide onto Ginnelly. Ginnelly outside the box. 3 blue jerseys in front of him. Tries to get the ball in. Brilliant ball across. No takers. Connor Smith, 27. Alan Forrest, 17. The 2 Hearts players in there, and neither could get a touch. It's out of play for a throw to St Johnstone by the corner flag. What a ball across that was.
A great wing play by Ginnelly. You know, just shifts it down the line, whips it across. It goes right across, about 4 yards out. No takers there. Really good ball, and pace is on it. Accuracy. Just can't get anyone on the end of it.
One of his ones too, Alan, is a defender you don't like because you could get that final touch.
I've done that before.
Wasn't bringing it up out of that. You've scored the odd goal as well, so we'll give you credit for that, including against the men in maroon here. And as the ball gets played back onto Nielsen. Nielsen forward onto Mackay. Mackay, 35 yards from goal, plays it out wide. Opportunity now. Forrest watches, turns, teases the ball back onto Mackay. Mackay up against Drayright, clips the ball in. Montgomery has to head the ball, flicked it across the 6-yard box, taken down by Ginnelly. Back onto Michael Smith. Inside it comes onto Cammy Devlin. Opens up, left foot shot. Brilliant block, Alex Mitchell. Stuck his boot out. I think the goalkeeper may have been struggling there. Now the long ball gets played forward. Harding gets it off, taken down on the chest by Craig Gordon, and Gordon gets it away from Murphy. After the one in the first half, there was a few Hearts supporters slightly concerned about that. Now here comes Michael Smith. Forward it goes onto Shankland, out wide onto Ginnelly. Ginnelly takes a little touch. Ginnelly back onto Michael Smith, back to Ginnelly. 30 yards from goal, inside it comes. Opportunity, Connor Smith upended by Ali Crawford. And Ali Crawford had to be careful there. Here's Halliday. Low shot in, the deflection came up off Alex Mitchell, up into the arms of Remy Matthews it goes. Shankland was almost in. Terrific excitement.
It's just been non-stop the whole afternoon. There's not really been any let-up. It's definitely just a game for Hearts to just keep pressing away, but be mindful at the back, because I certainly get the sense that St Johnstone, it's not something you would regularly say about them, but they've looked threatening in this game, and they do look like they're capable of delivering a sucker punch if Hearts lacking a bit of concentration.
And here's a different proposition for the Hearts defence with Baird coming on.
Yeah, that changed. Brian McLaughlin, pitch side, looks like just a straight forward change, this one?
Absolutely, yes. Stevie May, the player being replaced. Theo Bair, I watched him a couple of weeks ago against Motherwell. He put in a real shift that day. He can be a real handful for the Hearts defence in the last 15 minutes or so.
Thelonious, as he's known to his family, Theo, to his teammates, and he's on the field looking to cause a little bit of problems, yet to score for St Johnstone, the Canadian. Now it's played wide on that far side. Little head flick inside, it goes past there, and it's going to be gathered. Forrest, there's Mackay outside him, he's running into McGowan. McGowan did well, his body's flying all over the place, and the referee gives the free kick for the late challenge on Ryan McGowan, just inside the St Johnstone half. John Beaton stands there. Free kick, no more than that, and an opportunity for St Johnstone to try and get the ball forward. And they'll take their time. Graham Carey just has a little look. Callum Davidson is there. Talk about managers under pressure. I mean, forget. I mean, there was a 10-game losing spell for St Johnstone last season.
Yeah, there was. But I just think now and I've seen a lot of St Johnstone, just a bit more about them this season. They still need that striker that's going to score on the goals, but defensively, midfield, they've certainly got a bit about them.
Murphy gets a long cross in from the free kick. Comes out the other side. Ginnelly keeps the ball in, but no Hearts player is there. And it's a very different looking St Johnstone side from the one that got the draw in Inverness and then got the win in the playoff final. Now it's sent forward over the halfway line. Theo Blair tried to get there, but Bair couldn't manage it. Comes down onto Cade. Cade runs into Connor Smith. Ball hasn't gone out of play initially. It has now, and the throw in taken quickly. 77 minutes played. Crawford long on the angle. Murphy going to bring it down. Bair in the middle. Forrest is there. It breaks off the heel of Halliday. Out it comes on to Devlin. Devlin sends it forward. No way through that time for Barry Mackay. It's another good tackle that time by Liam Gordon. Carey is sliding on the deck. Connor Smith tries to get the ball forward. A little hook forward. Comes back onto Devlin, and Devlin will play it out wide onto this right hand side. Here comes Michael Smith. Out wide on to Josh Ginnelly. Ginnelly outside the box. Ginnelly plays it in. Hits Montgomery. Comes back to him. Comes on the inside. Here's Connor Smith. Might fancy it himself. Tries the shot. Too ambitious. Looking for that moment of glory. Up and over it goes.
He's been better, just taking a touch. Young Connor Smith and finding Michael Smith wide on the right if he could.
Yeah, it certainly seemed to. There's been a couple of occasions on that, Michael, that players from Hearts have decided for the long shot when they've had men, certainly Michael Smith on a few occasions, running on the outside.
I think it's just a certain degree of anxiousness and desperateness that has been creeping in there. They don't need to, do that at all. They just need to keep working the St Johnstone defence and stretching them. Hearts, they've got a really entertaining and attractive attacking side to the team this season, and get those players on the ball. They'll go and create, they'll stretch the opposition in those wide areas in particular. It's a big, what are we now, 12 minutes plus
plus
injury
stoppage,
time.
yeah.
It's be a really, really big result if Hearts are able to pick up the 3 points in terms of how this game has flowed and everything that's happened on the park.
So Johnstone have a throw. It's thrown in by Constantine, looking for Bear. A little glance off the head comes through onto Craig Gordon. Hearts 6 points from the first home 2 Scottish Premiership games. Last season it was 5 from 3. They won't be 7 for 3, but they want all now. Long clearance, Barry Mackay inside the area, goes down. It's a stick on penalty. It's a terrible challenge in the area. Referee had no choice but to point to the spot. Barry Mackay goes down. St Johnstone will face a penalty kick through Remy Matthews. It is a terrible challenge, Graham Carey, and it is a penalty kick.
Liam Gordon, Michael?
No, I don't think so. I think he knocked it past Gordon. Was it Carey?
I think it's Carey.
Yeah,
just at the edge of the area.
I think it was Carey. Just lunged in. Great play from Barry Mackay. Lovely first touch. Driving into the box. Huge opportunity here for Lawrence Shankland.
Shankland against Remy Matthews. Lost 3 goals when he faced Hearts the only time. Between the sticks for Hamilton. Shankland steps up. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way. How Lawrence Shankland celebrates. Sent the goalkeeper one way. Ball in low into the corner. The right hand side. Hearts lead again. Hearts 3. St Johnstone 2.
Even it just feels like, certainly because of the context of this game, it feels like a big result if Hearts are able to pull this off. We spoke before about the potential challenge for third place for Hearts. Games at home, this is a fortress. It really is if you've got any aspirations in challenging at the top end of the table. And coming off the back of the performance on Thursday night, on the whole, it's been very good for Hearts, but if they were to drop points, it would be a big disappointment. So to go 3-2 up with 10 minutes to go, it's a big, big moment there for Hearts now.
Yeah, massive. And it was, they said the ball just... I think the ball, when you see it again, Michael, the ball goes over Carey's head. Mackay's onto it, it's a lovely touch, then another touch, and he sucks Liam Gordon in, who brings him down. And Shankland stuck it away with aplomb, no problems at all. The early part of the season, Barry Mackay must be a contender for Steve Clark's squad, you would think.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that the difficulty for Barry Mackay is it's an area of the park that's very strong, but you've got to say that Barry Mackay, exactly like Alan's alluding to there, is in fine form in the early part of this season. And the top end of the park is what I feel is such a big difference to this Hearts side now. Forrest has hit the ground running, Shankland's hit the ground running, Mackay's playing as well as he has in the Hearts jersey now, and Boyce, disappointing to see him going off injured, but he's a quality player. That front four in particular, it's exciting times for Hearts, it really is.
Can they now see it out? Can St Johnstone find a way to get themselves level again?
That's the thing, St Johnstone played their part in what's been a wonderful afternoon, and a special mention for young Lewis Nielsen. I think he's been excellent. He really has. Young kid coming in, making his debut. People all around him falling about, different partners to play with. I think he's played well.
St Johnstone play the ball forward, knocked on by Alex Mitchell. He's just 20 years old as well, it should be said. I think he's played reasonably well. Brilliant little touch and turn. Lewis Nielsen on cue, taking the ball out from the back. Lovely little touch, pass 2, gets taken down. I think he's having fun.
Well, he clearly is enjoying himself, and Alan's absolutely spot on. He has been good. he started in a back three, the centre of it. He's finishing up in the left side of a back four now. It's been a good performance yet.
Andrew Considine just takes down George Ginnelly. It's a clear yellow card for Andrew Considine. Hearts are going to have a free kick outside the box.
But again, what a ball from Nielsen.
Yeah, and the important thing in this is because I think everybody recognised that Hearts were needing or should have been trying to get a right-sided centre half in, because there's been a lot of games this season so far where that opportunity for you would certainly looking thinking Lewis Nielsen's not been put in. Toby Civic's come on in the park a lot of games, and you're thinking to yourself, does Robbie not feel he's ready yet, or what? Big games, granted, early in the season. So very, very good to see him starting here and playing so well, because he'll play his way into Robbie's consciousness in terms of got to give him some more game time now, because he's not looked out of place one bit.
Dundee United still disputing the transfer.
Ball gets played into the middle. Opportunity from the free kick. They certainly didn't want to lose him. He showed great promise early at Dundee United. Now little ball gets flicked into the middle. Ginnelly is available. It breaks off him. Considine gets away. Down onto Forrest. Forrest back to Ginnelly, who's just onside. Outside the box, right hand side. Hearts leading by 3-2. Connor Smith takes the sting out of things. Plays it back on to Nielsen. Nielsen sends it out wide. Opportunity for Halliday. Just a little short pass on to Devlin. Devlin away from Bear, but runs into trouble. Bear has it. Sends it wide on that far side. Now here's the opportunity for Jamie Murphy. But it is Lewis Nielsen who's back there. Gets the touch. Knocks the ball out of play.
You see what the support think of his performance as well there.
I'd be amazed if he doesn't win one of the man of the matches.
Yeah, it's a sticker on at the moment now. Trey Wright tries to play the ball in. Bear got the header down, but it's straight to Michael Smith. Smith gets the ball away, and it comes on to Considine. No handball. Ball played out onto Montgomery. Montgomery is Ali Crawford there. Hearts leading by 3-2. St Johnstone, though, trying to play the ball in, and that just lands on the roof of the net from Ali Crawford. It was played in from that left-hand side. 5 goals so far in this one earlier on today. Dundee United 0, Celtic 9. There was 77 goals scored coming into today, and we're now up to 91 for the season.
Hearts have just got to see this last spell out, make sure they don't give anything away, because it would be a real bitter one for them if they ended up with only 1 point instead of 3. And it has been, open and been loose at times throughout the game. The overall performance has been positive. Lots that Robbie Nielsen, I'm sure, is happy with, but just on occasions lacking a little bit of control in the performance. And if they can just see this out, control the last 5 minutes or so, it'll be a really, really important 3 points.
Devlin goes down under the challenge of Ryan McGowan, who may have worn the maroon of Hearts, but that doesn't concern some in the stands as they claim for the free kick. And Hearts will take their time. Barry Mackay will come and stand over it. Well, Hearts scored 4 the last home league game against Dundee United. They lead here by 3-2. They were all over United. This has been a different test this afternoon. Halliday plays it on to Mackay, takes a little touch up at the edge of the box. He's going to try and play the 1-2 back to him from Shanklin, and the ball rising up and over the top. St Johnstone had no answer to that. Andrew Considine was berating the fellow centre half to the way that the player was allowed to slide off Shanklin to play it back to Mackay. It remains 3-2.
Great play. I mean, that is just the sort of thing that you'd work on and train all day long, just injecting a bit of pace when the tempo's dropped right out of it. Barry Mackay picks the ball up, drives at the opposition, and then just uses Lawrence Shanklin as a wall to bounce it off. Great play from Shanklin as well, pins the defender, lays it off back into Mackay's path. The only thing that was lacking was the finish there. I mean, if he'd managed to slide that in the back of the net, what a great goal it would have been.
It would have been incredible. They're looking for a third. They're looking to get level. Last time St Johnstone got 3 against Hearts, it ended 3-3. They've got a chance at the edge of the box. It's Ryan McGowan. He's still going, flicks it through, looking for Bear. Smith gets it away from the edge of the 6-yard box, breaks out wide onto Graham Carey. 2.5 minutes of regulation to play. Here's Liam Gordon. Gordon might think about sliding it through. He's done so. Murphy's offside. Went just too early. 1 or 2 Hearts players down, just stretching themselves out. It's a lovely little ball that was played through. Last time both teams scored more than 2 at Tynecastle, August 2015. Hearts won by 4-3 on that occasion. 7 different scorers. Today we've had just as much entertainment, Alan.
It's been wonderful. Both sides can take credit. You know, they've had absolutely everything. The woodwork's been struck, some goalkeepers make some good saves. You know, we've had some fine goals, really good individual play by people. And, you know, I think St John, Callum will be gutted that he's not taking something from it. And Robbie will be absolutely delighted if they can see this through. It's a massive 3 points.
Long from Craig Gordon, headed away by Mitchell, comes out to Bear. Bear lays the ball back onto Murphy. Smith will come in as the ball is played through up towards the Hearts area. Craig Gordon sends it high into the watery sunshine, and it's still lingering over this stadium. Shanklin tries to close down Gordon. Gordon's long ball forward into the box, headed away by Haring. Breaks wide, might come off Crawford, comes back onto Adam Montgomery. Montgomery slides it out wide. Here's a chance. Jamie Murphy now on the left-hand side. Murphy hooks that ball across. Bear goes up. Hearts get the header. Chance at the back post for Trey Wright. And Trey Wright thunders the ball up and over. He was being closed down quickly by Andy Halliday. He claims it came off the Hearts man, but I think that's just to deflect from the fact that he didn't get the shot right. It was a great chance.
There's still a few heart and mouth moments here as we enter the last couple of minutes. It's not as if it's been for the lack of running about and trying to shut St Johnstone down at times. It just feels a little bit harum-scarum at times. If they can just get themselves into an area and a system and solidify things, then they'll be fine. But it just feels like they're desperately trying to charge about and close things down. They're getting picked off. And credit to St Johnstone, because they've not stopped at all. Alan said it. Callum Davidson will be disappointed because the overall performance has not been too bad from St Johnstone.
They had the lead, they got level again, but Hearts are ahead by 3-2. Ball inside onto Michael Smith. Smith onto Devlin, centre circle. Now forward onto Barry Mackay. Mackay being chased down, so he'll send it out wide onto Alan Forrest. Forrest, a little attack. There's a little jink back inside. It's opening up for him on the right foot. Two players back with him, including Gordon. Now it breaks back onto Mackay. Mackay gets the shot, comes back to him. He's inside the box. Takes it just outside the area. 3 additional minutes to be played. Still with Barry Mackay at the edge of the area. He's going to sweep this ball out to Josh Ginnelly. Ginnelly has Michael Smith outside of him. Into stoppage time at Tynecastle. The ball played through by Smith. Easy one by Considine. He hooked it in the air and as far as Devlin. Brought down by Mackay. Tried to play it through onto Shankland. It's with Considine. Pass with the outside of the boot. Might come forward and be won by Trey Wright. It has been. Now Trey Wright trying to go outside. Connor Smith. Smith's going to try and slide. And then he takes the man down. The referee says it was a fair challenge. Well, it's one of these ones. If it's your team, you want it. I don't think there's much doubt about that. The referee said no.
You just need to calm down. You know, they don't need to go and try and score a 4th goal there. Just keep the ball. Retain possession. Calm down.
I'm just not sure with Forrest, Ginnelly and Mackay, they've got the players that want to calm down. Ball is out of play on that far side. It's going to be a throw into St Johnstone.
It's been absolutely incredible from start to finish here. It's just non-stop. It really is. There's not been a let-up.
So the opportunity now for Remy Matthews to drive this ball forward. Can St Johnstone find a way to get level? Long on the angle, headed on by Carey. Got the goal scoring started, breaks the edge, it's offside. Just moving forward that time, Alex Mitchell. And the flag up on that far side of Ross McLeod, and Hearts can just take their time. 1 or 2 starting to head to the exits. I don't quite get that, I have to say, when it's 3-2 and it's stoppage time and it's tense. I could understand the Hearts fans leaving the other night when the game was beyond them, but it just feels that there might still be something to come here.
Maybe they think that's it done, maybe. But it's certainly, St Johnstone again forcing men forward. I think Callum will look at it and think, you know what, if we play like this between now and the end of the season, we should be fine.
The opportunity for Craig Gordon just to waste a little bit more time before he sends this one forward. Long high down that right hand side. Shankland in a sandwich with Considine and Montgomery. Crawford then has it. He plays the ball forward up to the halfway line. Here's Devlin. Devlin, lovely little touch inside onto Forrest. Forrest onto Mackay, dragged back by Mitchell, but he's still going. He's going to clip the ball out wide. Chance here for Shankland! Shot wide. Another great opportunity. Hearts simply will not sit back, not with the wingers on the field.
I mean, in terms of like attacking play, it's great to see. It really is. Mackay and Shankland link it. I mean, well, Mackay, Forrest, Shankland, the lot of them. Great interchange. It really was inventive. And it did look as if Shankland was perfect first touch. just to open up the angle to step back in on his right foot. Just misses the target though.
It's Mackay's vision and his weighty pass.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
Remy Matthews has cleared the ball out to the far side. The ball hit off the back of a Stewart who's facing the stand. The ball comes on the park and Callum Davidson comes on to retrieve it. Referee says don't worry about the time, I'll add that on. Remy Matthews sends it long, knocked on by Liam Gordon. St Johnstone are going for this, they're not going to just sit back here. But it is all over at Tynecastle Park. A remarkable game between Hearts and St Johnstone. Graham Carey after 6 minutes gave St Johnstone a lead after uncharacteristic error from Craig Gordon. Kai Rose with his first Hearts goal. Liam Boyce with his first Hearts goal since April put Hearts 2-1 ahead. Both of those players had to leave the field to play injured. Andrew Considine with his first goal for St Johnstone made it 2 apiece, but a rash challenge prevented Hearts with a penalty. 10 minutes of time, and Lawrence Shanklin drilled home his 4th goal of the season, and that's why it's finished at Tynecastle. Hearts 3, St Johnstone 2.